football on PlayOnSports.com. It's the PlayOnSports.com pregame show live from the campus of Mesa College in San Diego, California. I'm TC Wardell alongside my partner, Mark Grumman, on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. And tonight we bring you an Eastern League showdown as an angry St. Augustine Saints squad who come in tonight's game still reeling from a second-half collapse last week against arch-rival Cathedral Catholic, takes on the winless Falcons of Scripps Ranch High. And for Scripps Ranch, it has been as tough a year as they come. The Falcons are on a 9-game losing skid and have had to battle through injuries and inexperience on both sides of the ball. When I asked head coach Joey Meyer, the son of legendary California high school coach Herb Meyer, what his offensive philosophy was, Coach Meyer responded with, anything that can get us 4 yards. Which to me, Mark, kind of sums up this season's struggles and frustration for the Scripps Ranch squad.
Yeah, it's tough to find the positives in a season when you're this far into it and still winless. Coach Meyer comes from an atmosphere of perennial winners, including 6 CIF championships in his 19 years as an offensive coordinator at El Camino High School. And, of course, you mentioned his dad, Herb Meyer, winning as coach in California high school football. But you know Joe is going to continue to coach these kids to play the best they can. It takes time to build a consistent winner, and Coach Meyer is in just his 3rd year at Scripps Ranch, and I imagine if we keep our eye on this Falcons program for a while, we'll see a team to be reckoned with and not too far down the road.
Well, on the home side of the field are the St. Augustine Saints, who enter this contest with a 6-2 record and ranked 9th in the San Diego section. But head coach Richard Sanchez isn't all smiles this week, as the Saints let last Friday night's Holy Bowl against arch nemesis Cathedral Catholic slip through their hands in the second half, losing 28-20 to the Dons. We're going to take a quick break right now for our national anthem. You're listening live on PlayOnSports.com. And we're back on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. We're at Mesa College in San Diego, California, preparing for the Eastern League showdown between St. Augustine and Scripps Ranch. And Mark, we were just talking about the St. Augustine Saints, who entered the contest with a 6-2 record after letting last week's game against Cathedral Catholic kind of slip through their hands in the second half. Now, the Saints have discovered a fountain of youth in freshman running back Elijah Preston, who has rushed for 672 yards in relief of injured starting tailback Tyler Herberger. And speaking of the Herberger family, Tyler's older brother Ryan is the team leader in tackles and spearheads a tough Saints defense that only surrenders 17 points per game.
Well, you're absolutely right, TC. This Saints squad probably had more than a couple sleepless nights this past week, and Coach Sanchez certainly had to use that loss to Cathedral as a teaching moment for his team. But, you know, they have identical overall records as Cathedral Catholic at 6-2. But the Dons are 3-0 in league, while the Saints are a game and a half back at 1-1, and their chances of an Eastern League championship are pretty seriously in doubt. And you mentioned Super Frost, Elijah Preston at running back. He rolled up 159 yards and 2 touchdowns against a very good Cathedral defense. So the future of the Saints running game looks bright. Let's see how they bounce back from a tough loss, though. I'm not sure if this matchup is going to be much of a measuring stick for them.
Well, St. Augustine will be kicking it away. They'll be going left to right on your monitor as Sinclair preps it up. And we are underway here from Mesa College as Sinclair buries this kick into the end zone. And Scripps Ranch will get their first opportunity on offense, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Nice to have a kicker who can kick it through the end zone and prevent any kind of a run back. We saw that in a couple of other. Christian Fanning over there at Cathedral does the same thing. Yeah. Just boots it through the uprights just about every time. So run backs for the other team are pretty rare.
St. Augustine, well known for their kickers they've been able to produce over the time. Seamus McMorrow, currently at San Diego State, he's doing the long kicking for him. as Scripps Ranch comes out in the I formation. First play of the game. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. Tight end to the right as Fish at quarterback. Looking toward the sideline to call the signals and makes the call at the line of scrimmage. He's the sophomore. And they hand this one up right up the middle, and not a whole lot of real estate to work with as the Purple People Eaters of St. Augustine converge on the play and they'll lose about a yard.
Yeah, it's a young squad out there for Scripps Ranch, and they're going to really have their work cut out for them just to move the ball against a tough and, like you said, an angry Saints defense tonight.
Well, Josh Fish, who's a sophomore for Scripps Ranch, he's got a family that a number of brothers have played for the Falcons over the years. As he leads this Scripps Ranch offense, a very young team, as you mentioned, Mark. A number of sophomores and juniors. They only start 4 seniors in this entire team. Quick motion. They're going to go the fake the jet sweep. No, they're going to go with the jet sweep over to the right. A nice motion there across the 30-yard line, and a nice play and good misdirection by Scripps Ranch to get themselves a first down.
Yeah, that was Brian Thomas. He's a junior running back and wide receiver. And, yeah, really nice move to get find a little seam upfield, cut it up there, pick up a first down. Real nice, encouraging play for the Falcons.
They'll need whatever they can in terms of encouragement and big plays here. Ball control is going to be key for this Falcon team to keep that St. Augustine offense off the field for as long as humanly possible. As Fish sends, they go heavy to the right, 2 tight ends, and they set the receiver up to the top of the screen, I formation. They're going to go on the dive this time, and a nice jitter step. Going to pick up about 4 yards on the play. That is Shea Stevens, I believe, at running back. And you're going to see a lot of changing and a lot of rotation with their backs and receivers for the Scripps Ranch team.
Yeah, you know, when you're in the middle of an 0-8 season, 0-9, you're just going to be trying to find what is going to work for you. Lots of parts moving in and out, just trying to find the right combination. And again, obviously you're out of the playoff picture, so you're trying to build for the next coming years.
Well, you got a whole new formation here. Second about 6. They're going to go spread formation, 4 receivers. And they're going to go with the draw up the middle. Got him on the full, looking out to the 50. And now it's a race to the end zone. And it's a race that Scripps Ranch is going to win. Look at this. Unbelievable start for a Scripps Ranch team that is 0-8. That's Skylar Ray, the junior scat back, cruising 74 yards for a touchdown. And just like that, Scripps Ranch hits it early with a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, interesting formation. He had 2 receivers split wide both sides, and I think the Saints were looking for a pass play, and they just snuck that run right up the middle, and before the Saints were even aware of it, Skylar Ray was 15, 20 yards downfield behind the defense, and they were just running after, looking at the back of his jersey.
You know, you were talking about earlier, Mark, is not to sleep on any team, and Scripps Ranch hitting a St. Augustine team who might be sleepwalking a little bit. The point after is good. And look out, folks, the winless Scripps Ranch Falcons with an early 7-0 lead over St. Augustine.
How about that start for the Falcons? Certainly caught the Saints napping, and here they are with an early 7-0 lead.
So the Falcons of Scripps Ranch, Skylar Ray travels 76 yards against a stunned St. Augustine defense after last week's game against Cathedral Catholic. That second half meltdown they had that pretty much lost it all for them. I mean, they're still kind of back on their heels a little bit now. Scripps Ranch really wants to put that knife in, doing it a little early at the 10-15 mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, they sure did. And the Saints, like you said, you know, they need to bounce back from that loss. They need to forget it. I mean, it's probably stuck with them all week long in practices. They were probably hearing about it, but there's a point where you just got to say, you know, it's behind us now, and let's move forward. And maybe they haven't quite moved forward yet, or maybe they just thought it was going to be a cakewalk, and Scripps Ranch had a different thought.
Well, an interesting turn of events here. Early on with a 7-0 lead, the Falcons, as they prepare to kick it away. And talking about good kickers, that one just sailed down to the 2 and bounces into the end zone. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot in terms of run backs with these 2 kickers here tonight.
Yeah, I kicked it away from the receiver back there. Was it Ross Sanchez? I'm sorry, that was Sanchez. Dominic Morgan was back to receive, and they just kicked it away from him, able to bounce it through the end zone and give the Saints an 80-yard field to try to work with.
Well, St. Augustine, a little shell shock after a 76-yard Skylar Ray touchdown run early in this first quarter. They come out on offense, their first opportunity. The ball at the 20-yard line. That's JoJo Hudson at quarterback. 2 receivers top of the screen. They go solo to the bottom. Elijah Preston at the running back. And looking to throw early is Hudson. First play going deep down the middle of the field and overthrows his intended receiver. And well covered on the play is Ryan Harris.
Yeah, it looked like they may have been a little mixed up. Harris was running kind of a little post pattern, but the pass went toward the outside of the field, so maybe a little miscommunication there.
It's a little bit of a slow start for St. Augustine. The 9th-ranked team in the San Diego section, 6-2 record on the year. This was supposed to be a bit of a rebuilding year for the Saints, but they've come out exploding this season, especially after a huge upset win over Eastlake a few weeks ago. And Scripps Ranch looking to blitz. They give the ball to Preston. Preston bounces out to the outside, but cuts back in. And this freshman is exciting. Take a look at him tonight, folks. He's 159 yards last week against one of the toughest defenses in the section in Cathedral Catholic. And he picks up about 7 yards on his first carry.
Yeah, showing great vision there, looking for the hole open up and not committing too soon. But once he saw it, man, he busted through that hole, had to make a couple moves out there, and nice 9-yard pickup on that play. And
Preston had his kind of coming out party at Eastlake when he was filling in for injured running back Tyler Herberger. Third and about 1 from the 29-yard line, I formation. Scripps Ranch showing blitz. They're going to hand it off to Preston again. This time he is met at the line of scrimmage and pulled back. And depending on where they mark this,
it's going to be close.
Yeah, they're going to give him forward progress to about the 30. It looks like they're going to give him the first down. And we have an injured Scripps Ranch player on the field. And this is something that this Falcon team can ill afford.
Yeah, they're already thin in the ranks tonight as it is to start this game, and they can ill afford to lose anybody else.
Anthony Mosudo, fortunately, is on his feet, walking off on his own power. That's a good sign. So hopefully he'll be back in the ball game in just a little bit. Yeah, they suited up only 32 players tonight. That is the Scripps Ranch Falcons. So we're probably going to see a number of players going both ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never good, especially in the late going to the fourth quarter. You start seeing heavy legs. Send one receiver wide, top of the screen. I formation, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for St. Augustine. This is their first possession of the game, trailing 7-0. Preston again gets the call, looking for room, finds it, but finally dropped down by outside linebacker. Skylar Ray on the tackle. The gentleman who just manned the touchdown for 76 yards makes the tackle. Preston did a nice job of maneuvering through all the trash.
Yeah.
But Ray was right there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he came up to the line of scrimmage, and it was just kind of closed up, and he just stopped for a second and bounced to the left and found himself a little bit of running room, picked up 4 yards. It's a nice gain on a first down.
Oh, it is. Kind of surprising he got 4 yards. Didn't think he ran that far. So 2nd and 6 from the 34-yard line of St. Augustine. 8:26 left to go in the first quarter. Offset I, they send receiver back in motion and send him back out again. And that'll be Preston looking for the call. Hudson's going to on the play action and try to get the pass off. Does, and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. That's Tim Chapman. Hudson with a nice throw. And Chapman just couldn't hold on. He was about a step ahead of the defender. Ball in and out of his hands, and that'll go incomplete, bringing up 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, Chapman was about a couple steps behind his defender, Thomas Hanger, and yeah, a little bit more loft on that pass, and maybe he would have been able to run under it. But nice throw. It was right there. It was catchable. A tough catch as it was. But nice defense for the Falcons, and it's setting up 3rd and semi-long.
Yes, Falcons in a cover 2 defense, 3rd and 6 from the 34-yard line of St. Augustine. Saints having a little bit of trouble on this first possession. Back to throw against Hudson, and now finds trouble. He's going to move out of the pocket and hustles out, and he is horse-collared down, actually finally brought down to about the 46-yard line. That was a nice run. He didn't see anybody open, and he quickly just tucked and run and found a way to, with his legs, to get the first down and keeps this St. Augustine drive going.
And very fortunately, this linebacker blitzed right up the middle, went untouched. It was like just a massive hole. And he was able to avoid that, pick up 15 or 10 yards, get a first down for the Saints, and they're still rolling.
Scripps Ranch defense playing very aggressive, sending blitzes from all angles and just about every play. 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. They send 3 receivers out to the right. They go with a bubble screen, and they got their man across midfield, and that's Preston coming out of the backfield on the catch, across midfield to the 47-yard line, pickup of about 7 on the play.
Nice job out there by the defense. Skylar Ray was, the receiver was trying to block him. Skylar Ray was just driving him backwards until he was able to get a hand on the receiver and help drag him down. Really nice, tough play by Ray, but he's now on the sideline looking a little worse for the wear.
Yeah, needing a breather, playing both ways, offense and defense. 2nd and 3, back to throw on the screen. This Hudson gets his man at the 45, but brought down immediately. Good job on the defense to sniff that out. That was Chapman that time on the slip screen. And they're going to be shy of a first down by maybe a half yard. They may come out and measure this one. But a nice, slow, methodical drive by St. Augustine. They're using up all their downs. And it's a first down, officials indicate, for the Saints. They're going to use up as much clock as they can. 6:49 left to go in the first quarter. It's a 7-0 Scripps Ranch lead.
Yeah, you called it. It has been very methodical, just working their way downfield, little chunks here, little chunks there, just enough to get a couple of first downs, and they're, in the Falcons' territory.
2 tight end set, single setback, 1 receiver set to either side. And they're going to give this one off to Preston again off the left side, and Preston just keeps his legs churning across the 40 to the 37-yard line. And he just gets chunks of yards, 5, 6, 7 a pop.
Yeah, he's so quick once he gets the ball in his hands. He finds the opening and just breaks into it, and pretty soon he's back in the secondary and picking up large chunks at a time.
He's 5'5", listed at 175, so he's a bit of a fire plug.
That's probably with all his gear on, he's 175.
He's only a freshman, folks. Eastern League's going to get stuck having to see him for the next 3 years. Blitz shown by Scripps Ranch. They're going to give it to Preston again off the left side, and Preston ankle tackle down at the 35-yard line, just inside the 35, and be about a yard shy of another first down. Just once again, St. Augustine just churning the ground game, using up the clock, keeping the ball inbounds. This might be a lower scoring game than we had thought.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, like we thought it might be a high scoring game, at least for one side, but they're taking their time, moving the ball.
Well, Scripps Ranch opened the scoring here tonight with Skylar Ray. Surprised everybody. Went 74 yards for a touchdown run to give the Falcons the early 7-0 lead. Now St. Augustine looking to counter. 3rd and 1. They're going to flip toss it over to Preston again. And Preston across the 30 to the 27. Once again, they're getting another 7-yard gain. After contact, he picks up another 2 or 3 yards easily.
And that's not just easy contact. He's taking some licks out there, and he keeps those legs churning and keeps moving forward. Keep those shoulders facing toward the end zone, and he's moving the pile downfield. He's not just going down real easy. That's a pretty tough young freshman right there.
These long drives really wears down the Scripps Ranch defense, especially when a number of these players are going both ways. As the 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line of Scripps Ranch, St. Augustine on the move. And again, they're going to sweep toss this one to Preston to the left side, and Preston is going to squeeze out maybe 3 yards on the play as the entire Scripps Ranch defense converges to try and bring him down. 4:38 and counting left in the first quarter.
Actually, partner, that was Francois Sims the second, giving Preston a breather. And Preston still, is he coming back in or not? No, he's going to take another play off. Again, I think he's earned it. He's been running the ball a lot tonight, so they're going to give a different look in the backfield.
That's Francois Sims the second.
That's right. Did I say
right.
the third? No.
Francois. So Saints 2nd and 7 from the 24-yard line. 2 receivers near side. Now into play action, looking to naked boot. Has his man out in the flat to the left to the 20-yard line. Across the 10, gets some good blocking and screens into the end zone. And St. Augustine is in for their first score. And we've got whistles on the field. I don't see a flag. No, yes, I do on the far side near the 10-yard line. There is a flag down.
Might be a hold.
Maybe that blocking downfield was too good.
Yeah, Dixon was wide open coming across on the left flat there and had lots of room, but apparently the receiver downfield blocking had a little bit too much jersey in his hand of the opposing defender, and unfortunately for the Saints, it's going to cost him 6 points and some yards.
So Dixon's touchdown catch and run will be negated by the penalty. Scripps kind of dodges a bullet there, but the ball will be placed at the 18-yard line of Scripps Ranch. So St. Augustine in the red zone for the first time. And they'll be facing a 2nd and about a yard as Hudson sends his troops to the line of scrimmage. They bring a wing back to the left side. Receivers set on either side. Looks like that is Hudson back in the game at tailback, and that's gets it, and they go in the end around this time and running right into the teeth of the defense. I think that was Chapman on the end around. They tried to do misdirection, and there were 3 white jerseys waiting for him.
Yeah, Anthony Masudo was back in the backfield waiting on him. As soon as the ball was handed off, there was a defender waiting to make the tackle. Great job by the defense to read that. Actually forced about maybe a half-yard loss on the play.
think that was Ryan Harris on the unfortunate carry. Good job of the Scripps Ranch defense to hold their water on your ground. As now he's set up with go heavy to the right side. That's Chapman in motion. Offset I formation. Third and about 1.5 yards. And now second back through is Hudson. Hudson following his blocking. Feet moving across the 15 to the 13-yard line and a first down. A good-looking run by this freshman. He is so good after contact. His feet legs never stop moving.
Yeah, his feet are constantly churning. He gets in the middle of all that mix, and instead of just stopping, he keeps the feet moving and keeps pushing forward. And a nice pickup for a first down.
Go back to the offset I formation. This time 2 receivers to the top of the screen. They go tight end to the right. 2:58 left to go in this first quarter. And once again, Hudson getting the call. This is no problem me. It's going to be a play action and a boot. And nowhere to throw, and a great job of pursuit by the Scripps Ranch defense to bring Hudson down at the 10. Man, Hudson does a good job of ball faking. Even has me thinking the running back's got
Yeah,
it.
I was just going to say, that was an outstanding fake. The defense on the left side for the Falcons was frozen, and we're going after the running back. But fortunately for the Falcons, the defensive backfield, the defenders did a great job covering the receivers and didn't give anywhere for Hudson to throw the ball.
So a 2nd and 8 from the 10-yard line for St. Augustine. They're having trouble getting this ball in the end zone. Scripps Ranch stiffening up on defense. They flip toss it again to Hudson. Preston across the 5 and keeps moving. Did he get in the end zone? I think he did. Touchdown, St. Augustine.
Wow, nice job turning that thing upfield and just keeping moving and diving for the goal line. He doesn't play like a freshman, does he, TC?
Not at all. He was hit initially at about the 6. He kept moving, let his body go forward, legs kept driving, and he just lurched over the goal line for St. Augustine's first score of the night at the 2:11 mark of the first quarter. All right, I'll tell you, Mark, this game's a little bit different than we had anticipated, as Sinclair's extra point attempt is perfect, and we are knotted up at 7 apiece here from Mesa College. St. Augustine and Scripps Ranch in an Eastern League showdown.
Well, I got to say, I'm real excited about Super Frosh Elijah Preston here. He plays older than his years, and I like the way he reads the line as he gets the handoff. He doesn't just commit. He looks. He's got good vision. He's looking for a place to go before he goes, and then once he sees it, man, he attacks and turns it upfield, and just really impressive showing so far.
Good vision, great patience. He really waits to see his blocking develop before he starts taking a step. And like you said, only a freshman. And again, his coming out party was against Eastlake in a game where St. Augustine upset the currently, I believe Eastlake is ranked. Yeah, 8th ranked Eastlake Titans, who tonight are taking on Olympian in probably the biggest South Bay matchup of the year. 7 taking on 8. Olympian 8-0, and I've had an opportunity to watch that football team play, and Gil Warren has probably one of the best wing tee offenses in the section, as Sinclair sends this one down to the border. And once again, Scripps Ranch will take over on their own 20-yard line. Let's see what the Falcons can do on their second possession of the game. I think they may have caught St. Augustine sleeping a little bit on their first opportunity, as Ray went 74 yards for a touchdown. Not sure Saints are going to get fooled again this time around.
Probably not, but I don't think he'll be fooled. But let's just see how they responded. And again, how did the Falcons respond after giving up a long touchdown drive? They came to play tonight, and it shows in the way they played. They didn't make it easy for St. Augustine to make that touchdown drive. It took them a while. Let's see how they do on the response here.
A lot of different formations, and now Fish is going to hand this one off across the 20-yard line on the jet sweep. Actually, an inside counter pickup by Brian Thomas on the carry. Pick up about 2 yards on the play. I think we're going to see a lot of not only different formations, a lot of different plays. It's going to be such a mixed bag of a variety of offense. Whatever can work, they're going to go to, and then when they find that works, they're going to try to stick with it.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think that when you're 0-8, you just start experimenting and trying to find out what's going to work down the road in the seasons to come. You got a bunch of young guys out there. I mean, they're getting experience. There's absolutely no substitute for game experience. They're getting it now. They're going to find out what's going to work in the future.
Now they tighten it up with an I formation. 2 tight ends are going to work right up the middle and keep dragging, and a pickup of maybe 3 on the play. And Scripps Ranch fights hard to get to the second level.
Nice battle going on at the line of scrimmage between the two, the offensive and the defensive lines.
Hard to tell who carried the ball in that play because a lot of white jerseys came up at the
Yeah,
same time.
it was tough. It's a big pile up in there.
So 3rd and 5 from the 25-yard line for Scripps Ranch. 1 minute left to go in the first quarter. We are even at 7 apiece here from Mesa College in San Diego, California. We're glad you're joining us here on PlayOnSports.com as the Falcons send 2 receivers either side. That's Masudo in motion. And they're going right up the gut again. This time, pick up a 3. They're going to be shy of a first down by about 2 yards. Interesting play call. I think they were trying to spread out the defense and seeing if they can find some room up the middle. But unfortunately, I believe that was running back Shea Stevens on the carry, unable to get the first down. That's going to bring up 4th down and the first opportunity to see the punter for Scripps Ranch here tonight.
Yeah, 3 straight run plays. Maybe they thought they could catch the Saints napping like they did last time. So they're going to have to mix it up, get the ball in the air a little bit, and keep the defense honest.
That is Nick Vildeville standing in his own 13-yard line, ready to
that's
boot
going to
this
cost the Saints 5 yards right about there, I think.
Oh, that's not smart. Oh, that is not a Phi Beta Kappa penalty on a punt as the defense jumps off sides and gives Scripps Ranch a first down.
I think whoever was calling the snap over there on the punter, for the Falcons, could see that the Saints were just anxious. They looked like they just wanted to plow through and go for a block, and they gave him a nice hard count and drew him off sides for 5 yards and a first down.
Don't see that too often on a punt when the return team jumps off sides. And we are done with one here from Mesa College. Scripps Ranch, and a bit of a surprise, tied up with St. Augustine 7 apiece. So, Mark, as we have a few moments here, it's kind of interesting what we've read in the local paper over the last couple weeks with regards to restructuring the playoff system for the San Diego section. First-year commissioner Jerry Schneip was looking to find some equity in each division, making the reference that a certain number of teams seem to win championships year after year after year. I mean, we need to thin the herd out a little bit and give other schools an opportunity to win a section title. And looking at some of the breakdowns from the Open Division down to Division 5, kind of interesting. I think they've got the right idea. I'm not sure this exactly is what's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, if other guys have an opportunity, but at the same time, teams win it over and over again because they're just good, and it's you don't want to penalize them and try to, take away their success and, redistribute their success. If other teams, got to get their programs going. I mean, it's a tough one, and obviously it's tough when you see the same teams over and over and over, but there's a reason they're there.
Right.
I mean, they've got great coaching, they got players, they got programs that have been built over time. And how do you divide that up?
That's tough.
It's a tough one.
It is tough. 1st and 10 for Scripps Ranch. They're going to work this one outside and unable to get to the edge and pick up maybe a yard on the play. Once again on the carry was Stevens. It's going to be some tough sledding against the St. Augustine defense. I think they were awake after being tagged for a 74-yard run early on in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're going to see a wide awake Saints defense now. So the Falcons are going to have to adjust. They're going to have to try to mix it up a little bit. We got 2 guys. This is the formation that got them the touchdown. 2 guys wide on each side. Let's see what they run it.
And they spread it out. Moresto in motion. And now they're going to give it up the middle. And just like you said, Mark, across the 35. Got some yardage on this play to the 39-yard line. That's Martell Davis on the carry. A lot of different players getting the ball for the Scripps Ranch team. Pick up about 6 on the play. Got a 3rd down and 4.
And like Kyle Daly's down for the Saints. Can't tell what is his ailment, but he's not feeling too good right about now. Going to get a little bit of a break.
So timeout on the field. 11:01 left to go in the second quarter. We are knotted up at 7 apiece here from Mesa College. And just kind of going back to our conversation with regards to the divisions, they show a breakdown of what, as of today, what each division would be and the teams that were part of it. And if you look at the open division, when you get your Oceanside, Helix, La Costa Canyon, Mission Hills, I mean, that's the powerhouse division. But but there are some teams in that division that aren't having particularly strong years, and you're going to see that in each division. And, of course, in Division 3, I would see one team, that being Patrick Henry, just kind of dominating all the other teams in it. It's what I don't see the equity in the way it's structured here, but I do understand what the commissioner is trying to accomplish and the idea behind it. I would like to see more parity, and we'd like to see maybe some more equity and opportunities for other teams to have an opportunity for a section title.
Yeah, it's tough when you've, like you said, you've got somebody who continually dominates a division. You know, they try to divide it up by enrollment and, you know, size of schools. Right. But yeah, how do you do that? How do you create parity? That's a tough call. That's going to be a tough thing to pull together for the commissioner. But again, there are teams that win year after year for a reason.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly, because they're the best, and they have a great program,
and it's continuity. I mean, a lot of it is continuity. They've got their program that they've built. I mean, they weren't always the best team in their division. I'm sure they had their lean years way back when, and it took them a while to turn it around. I mean, we're looking at a Scripps Ranch team right now that's 0-8, but you've got a coach in Coach Meyer who comes from a winning tradition. I mean, he's been around winning his whole life, and so he knows how to do it, and it's just a matter of time before he turns a program around and puts Scripps Ranch on the map as one of those teams that's going to be perennially a playoff contender, and it just takes time to build a program like that.
And it is. There are others ebb and flow, and this year they've got a lot of sophomores and juniors, a lot of inexperience. This would probably be the first year since 2004 that Scripps Ranch doesn't make the playoffs. So they've been a pretty consistent team, but every team has its,
absolutely
ups and highs. You just can't pick your players.
And some more than others.
Exactly. 3rd and 5 for Scripps Ranch. 4 receivers in the pattern. They're going to run this one right up the middle again with Stevens. And Stevens just working hard to get across the 40-yard line. He might get a yard out of this. And, another 3rd down play where they decided to just power it up the middle, right? And they're not having a whole lot of success between the guards.
No, they have not. And it's, the Saints' defensive line has shown that they're kind of up to the task. And they're going to have to mix it up. The Falcons' offense is going to have to mix it up a little bit to try to create some openings out on the sides and then kind of downfield a little bit.
So Vildeville will stand at his own 25-yard line to punt it away. And standing back to receive it for St. Augustine is Dominic Morgan. 10:08 left to go until halftime. 7-7 high. It's a funky ball back, but it's a nice punt by Vildeville. Bounces at the 32, and it takes a great Scripps Ranch bounce. You better stay away from that inside the 10 and to the 9-yard line. So Vildeville does the job to punt that one down inside the 10-yard line, and St. Augustine will start backed up in their own territory. 1st and 10, 9:52 left to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, Morgan's playing with fire back there,
yeah,
running alongside a ball that bounces funny. It would have took one little bounce into his leg, and then it's a live ball. So if you've decided not to catch it or make a return or make a fair catch, man, get away from that darn thing.
Yeah, I think his special teams coach is probably telling him that right now, but probably not in quite the same manner you just said it.
Yeah, maybe a little more direct.
Yes. So they're going to place the ball at the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 for St. Augustine. 2 tight end set. They're going to go heavy with Preston, and Preston
nice tackle.
Gets brought down right at the line of scrimmage and going for a ride on that play. Just grabbing onto Preston's back and bringing him down is Skylar Wright. Boy, we have been calling his name on defense all night long.
Yeah, he's going to be a tired young man come into this game. He's going both ways, offense and defense, and he's working hard.
And here comes a quick offense for St. Augustine. Back on the ball. Set a receiver to either side. 2 tight end set. And trying to wear down the Scripps Ranch defense. They're going to throw this one in the flat. Has a man open in the seam. That's the big tight end across the 20, the 25. He's lumbering, but he's running. And finally bent back at about the 25-yard line. He was wide open as Robert DeCourt, the big tight end, 6'4", 200.
Yeah, he lined up on the right side and just kind of slowly slid out and came across the field. That nobody picked him up, and he was wide open, had a nice lot of running room once he caught that ball.
So a 1st down for St. Augustine. The ball placed at their own 25-yard line. They go heavy again with 2 tight ends and 1 receiver set to either side. Play action, and Hudson's going to roll to his right. Has a man again in the flat. And goes to the 40-yard line. Oh, can't stay on his feet and across the 45. That's Patrick Dixon, 6'3", 200 senior wide receiver. They set up tight. And now they're using their big receivers in the middle of the field, starting to get them on crossing patterns and moving the ball at will now against the Scripps Ranch defense.
That was just about the exact same play they just ran, and he just went the other direction. Same thing, lined up on the left, slid across the right, and he was wide open in the 5-10 yards down the field.
And they set Chapman in the wing to the left this time on 1st and 10 from their own 45. They're going to run the ball with Preston, and Preston finding room across midfield to 45 and brought down to the 41. And the freshman with a 12-yard pickup, and Saints offense now with a little shot of adrenaline back on the ball quickly again, and they're starting to tire up this Scripps Ranch defense.
Yeah, this no-huddle offense is going to wear down the Falcons, and when you got a power running game like that with the super freshman in there and the passing game that's working for them, it's going to be tough to defend.
They set up with 2 tight ends again. Hudson under center, 2 receivers top of the screen. 8:17 left to go in the second quarter. Looking to throw his Hudson's got his man again in the flat, and the big tight end, tough to bring down to the 32-yard line is that was 88, wasn't it? That was Robert DeCourt again on the catch. And that's right now they are using their big men from the line of scrimmage, getting them off the line and in between the linebackers, and back on the ball quickly go the Saints as Hudson calls out signals. 2nd and 2, and the freshman running back Preston gets the carry and hit immediately. I'm not sure if that was Ray again on the stop, but
Jelani Wooten made the hit at the line of scrimmage, but Preston just kept moving forward, got 3 yards, which was enough for a first down. And
Scripps Ranch needs a timeout.
Coach Myers saying, all right, let's get a breather. Boy, yeah, the Saints offense is just rolling right now. They're doing anything they want, and the Falcons just can't stop them.
So with 7:42 left to go in the second quarter, still knotted up at 7 apiece, but St. Augustine has woken up on offense and has just moved the ball from their own 10-yard line and now down to the 29 of Scripps Ranch. And Coach Meyer calls a timeout and says, you know what, we need some air. We need a breather. Don't have a lot of players to rotate in as they've only suited up 32 tonight. Number of injuries on this Scripps Ranch team all season long, and they've just held it together. I mean, they've just come out game after game and just fought. And then, you know, as difficult as it is to go through something like this, this does pay dividends in future seasons.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. They say it builds character. You know, adversity builds character. Adversity reveals character.
Exactly.
And this is what we're going to see. These kids are going to learn a lot about themselves. Coach Meyer's going to learn a lot about himself. He's going to have to dig deep into some reserves in himself that he probably didn't know he had. But again, he comes from a winning tradition, and he is going to keep teaching these kids.
1st and 10 for St. Augustine from the 29 of Scripps Ranch. 2 receivers set to the near side. They stay heavy with the 2 tight ends, but they're going to give it to the freshman running back, and he just keeps dragging people across the 25-yard line to the 24, just like that, 5-6 yards, and you almost don't even see him pick that up. It's just easy, almost too simple.
Yeah, he's short. I mean, he's low to the ground, and he can't. It's hard to pick him up coming up behind that big offensive line. That offensive line is doing a great job of getting a push downfield. He's getting 5 yards every time before he's even getting touched by the defense.
Pick up a 5 on the play, 2nd and 5 from the 24-yard line. They go heavy to the right, and they're going to give it to Preston again, who gets to the edge, cuts back inside the 20. Still on his feet at the 15. This guy's still running to the end zone. Touchdown. How did he get out of that mess?
That's just determination right there and strength. That was a fine 25-yard touchdown run right there.
He should have been dead to rights a number of times on that play. And the freshman, Elijah Preston, with a 25-yard touchdown run, gives St. Augustine a 13-7 lead with 7:02 left to go until halftime. Well, I can't say enough about this young man. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And he wasn't sure he was going to get much playing time this year at all behind Tyler Herberger. And unfortunately, Herberger went down with an injury against Eastlake a few weeks back, and it has been all Preston ever since. And that 25-yard touchdown is 2nd score of the night, and it's 14-7 St. Augustine with 7:02 left to go until a break.
Well, the Falcons need to do something here to slow this roll that the Saints are on. They need to get out and come out here and put together a drive that they can sustain a while and keep the defense of the Saints on the field and keep their offense off the field. It's just going to take the coaching to come up with some plays, something different. You know, they got to quit trying to run up the middle for a while, and you know, they're not overpowering the Saints' defensive line, so they need to come up with some alternative plans here and try to move it around a little bit.
I like the misdirection they were using on their very first drive, and I think that's what might have gotten St. Augustine on their heels a little bit. And, of course, Skylar Ray ran for a 74-yard touchdown run early in the first quarter that kind of stunned the crowd and sparked a little adrenaline in this Falcons football team. However, St. Augustine has come roaring back now with a 14-7 lead. And Sinclair tees it up, ready to kick this one away. Both teams have outstanding kicking units, and Nick Sinclair for St. Augustine and Nick Vildebill for Scripps Ranch. Both of them capable of putting the ball deep into the end zone and denying any type of run back. And here's a line drive kick this time. Bounces at the 5 and picked up at the 3-yard line. Scripps Ranch looking for some room. Finds an alley to 25 to the 30. Look at this to the 40-yard line. Cuts back inside and finally brought down at midfield. A great run back. Brian Thomas. Tremendous run back. Let's give some credit to that special teams unit for giving him that opening and finding a hole. Good blocking. And another spark here, a little opportunity for Scripps Ranch. They're giving St. Augustine a bit of a scare here tonight.
Yeah, you know, and it just takes little things like that to get your team pumped up and give a little bit of encouragement, and you can build on that. That was a fantastic run. The special teams, the return team, did a nice job of creating a little bit of a seam for him, and Thomas just took advantage of it, saw it, and attacked it. And look at that, a great field position to start this drive.
Well, let's see what Scripps Ranch can do on offense here. As Skylar Ray sitting at tailback. Josh Fish, the sophomore quarterback, looking over to his coaching staff. I'm not sure they've got the play or actually the formation they want, or maybe even the ball placing, as Coach Meyer is yelling at the officials. And the officials have a timeout, and they're going to confer at midfield. Not exactly sure what the confusion is or what Coach Meyer's concern is.
Coach Meyer's looking for a few extra yards, but I think I saw him tackled right on the 50-yard stripe.
I think it's a great return. I think we'll leave it as is. So 1st and 10 from midfield for Scripps Ranch. The sophomore, Josh Fish, coming from a family of brothers who played here at Scripps Ranch High School. Tight formation. Going to hand it off to Ray. Ray trying to find the corner around the left side. He's going to find nothing except purple jerseys. And no yards on the play. We'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, great pursuit by the Saints D. They just held their blocks until they had a shot at the running back and gave him nothing. No yards gained on the play.
6:30 and counting here in the second quarter. 14-7, St. Augustine lead over Scripps Ranch. Not the blowout a lot of people thought it would be, as Scripps Ranch gave him an early punch in the gut with a 74-yard touchdown run by Skylar Ray. But right now, a great opportunity for the Falcons with the ball at midfield, 2nd and 10. As they set receivers to either side, they go heavy to the left for the tight end. They work the misdirection again on jet sweep, and looking to get to the corner is Thomas. Thomas to the 45 and can just barely stay in bounds at the 43, going to be just a yard or two shy of a 1st down.
Yeah, nice job of working hard for those yards. Good pickup. But there's just not a whole lot of room. He barely got the corner and was able to turn it up and get, 8 yards and bring up a 3rd and short. But still, good pursuit by the Saints defense to keep it from being a big gain.
Well, Scripps Ranch hasn't been too successful on 3rd downs tonight. And at 3rd and 3, the ball at the St. Augustine 43-yard line. If they don't get it here, I got to believe this is 4-down territory where they really just have to go for it.
Yeah, I think they should. I think that they should, they've got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose at all. They just need to go for it.
So it's set 2 receivers. Thomas in motion. 2nd back through up the middle and hits a stone wall and goes nowhere. Again, on 3rd down, they try to work the middle of the St. Augustine defense and get nothing. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and a team that's 0-8 and struggling, and with the ball inside of their opponent's territory, there's no reason not to go for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good opportunity for them to learn and to, just to test things out, to try out different plays, different scenarios, situations, and why not?
So let us hope they don't run up the middle again on this 4th and 2 from the 42-yard line of St. Augustine. A 1st down here would be huge for the Scripps Ranch football team to keep this drive going. 2 receivers set with Thomas on the flip motion, and that's going to be, I got the Scripps Ranch players clapping. I missed the line of scrimmage.
They're celebrating as if something, maybe a defense, sure enough, offsides.
I got to believe St. Augustine's head coach Sanchez is not happy with the way this defense is playing. That's the 2nd offsides on a 4th down that's been called against the Saints, giving Scripps Ranch a free 1st down.
Yeah, you know that they're just shaking their heads over there. It is. It's just total mental mistakes. And credit the Falcons, a bunch of young guys. That's a heady job of them to draw that. I mean, it takes a lot of patience on their part not to jump themselves.
So a new life for Scripps Ranch. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line of St. Augustine. St. Augustine showing 9 in the box. They're coming. 2 receivers top of the screen. And they're going to run blitz them, and they run right into the blitz. And that's Stevens, and he had nowhere to go and was pushed backwards. Oh, You got to audibilize after a play like that. 9 purple jerseys in the box, and they run right into the teeth of the defense.
Yeah, that's a little bit surprising that you would try to continue to run up the middle against this D.
Well, then St. Augustine not even giving any respect to the pass against Scripps Ranch. They put their corners on islands. I don't even see safeties in the middle of the field. Loss of 2 yards on the play. The ball's back at the 39-yard line of St. Augustine. 4:23 left to go until halftime. Still just a St. Augustine lead of 14-7. Scripps Ranch in Saints territory. 2 receivers set to either side. And back to throw now is Fish. Fish blocked at the line of scrimmage. Ball up in the air, and lucky that one wasn't picked off by St. Augustine. That one was deflected straight up in the air, and usually nothing good happens on a deflected pass for the offense.
Yeah, those are those ones that they seem like they hang there forever, and everybody's looking at it, and it's amazing that they actually do fall to the ground.
Josh Fish, 6'2", 175, so he's got a little bit of height to him. Should be able to get rid of that ball over the lineman without anyone putting a paw up there to block it. Have to look and see how low his release might be. 2 receivers set to the top of the screen, 3rd and 12, and timeout on the field. Falcons want to talk this 3rd down over. 4:07 left to go until halftime. And this might just be an oxygen break for this Falcon football team.
It could be true. Plus, again, we're probably going to see 4-down territory again.
Right.
They need to get 12 yards for another 1st down, so it's not like they're more than likely not looking to get it all in one play. But, it's Coach Myers is just trying to encourage his kids. Hey, let's keep punching away here and let's not give up. I mean, there's a lot of football left to play. They're only down a touchdown. So let's keep going after it and just try to keep them encouraged. I think that's a lot of his job this year when you got a team that hasn't won yet. It's easy for them as younger guys to get discouraged and just think it's the end of the world, some of them. But it's not. It's a game, and he's just going to keep them pumped and keep them going after it and just realize, man, there's a lot more important things than this. But while you're out there, get out there and do your best.
Well, it's not easy with the schedule they had. The schedule makers didn't make it simple for them. They had to start the season against number 6 Poway, then number 8 Eastlake. Then they've got Cathedral Catholic ranked number 4, and then the 7-1 Patrick Henry team. And let's just follow it up with number 9 St. Augustine. I mean, this doesn't, with a group of sophomores and juniors, I mean, how tough can you make it for them?
Yeah, throw them straight into the fire.
3rd and 12 for the Falcons from the 39-yard line of St. Augustine. Big play here. They go to a cover 2, and they keep it tight. They're going to throw it. Fish is looking out to the sideline. On the wheel route, has his man incomplete as he throws it out of bounds, intended for Anthony Masudo. And that'll bring up 4th and 12. And it looks like Coach Myers says, let's just punt this one away and try to pin St. Augustine down deep in their own territory.
Nice little call there. Could have been executed a little more cleanly, but nice call. Masudo had a little bit of room out there on the right side, and just a little more touch on the throw, and perhaps they catch that and get a 1st down, maybe more, who knows. But nice to see him open up the playbook a little bit more and give the kids an opportunity.
It was a good play. Masudo was open on the wheel route, just Fish couldn't get it to him. As Vildabill standing in his own 44. Heavy rush coming, gets rid of it, and bounces right into the arms of the 10-yard line of Morgan. Morgan lost the ball. Morgan coughed it up, but I think he may have recovered his own fumble. That is a huge break for St. Augustine if they recover this one. No, it's Scripps Ranch. Scripps Ranch with the fumble recovery at the 15-yard line. And now they're still talking about it. Now they're saying it's going to go the other way.
Oh, that's...
we're going to have some coaches on this one yelling. I tell you, this isn't going to make the Scripps Ranch sideline too pleased.
I'm just thinking the official pointed the wrong way the first time.
Right.
Well, obviously, but...
Well, Morgan coughed it up, and it looks like he was able to recover his own fumble on the punt return. And St. Augustine will have the ball at their own 15-yard line with 3:49 left to go until halftime. And now still conversation on the field. Coach Meyer wants an explanation as to what happened. Not an easy job for our officials tonight. I'll give you a rundown of the list of officials that are working this game in just a moment. As St. Augustine starts their next possession at their own 15. Quarterback JoJo Hudson under center since 2 receivers near side as Scripps Ranch still bringing people into the game. And they're going to stretch this play over to Hudson, the freshman, across the 20-yard line, 25, and finally brought down to the 27. And if he wasn't brought down there, he'd still be running. Nice bring down by Desmond Simmons on the tackle, but this freshman running back for St. Augustine is something special.
Elijah Preston is a name we're going to be hearing for a long time, I have a feeling.
5'5", plays like he's 6'2". First and 10 from the 29-yard line. St. Augustine with two receivers top of the screen. Hudson at quarterback on the play action, rolling to his right. He's going to throw it. Got his man in the flat at the 35. Tries to slip one tackle and across to the 40-yard line. And they've found a lot of success in the middle of the field and out in the flats. And St. Augustine with their quick offense back on the ball. 3:15 and counting left to go until halftime.
Nice throw by Hudson, rolling to his right. He's a lefty, and so he's throwing across his body. That was not an easy throw to make, and he made it look easy.
Finally getting the chains to move for us here. I think we caught them napping a little bit. Slowing St. Augustine's offense down. As Hudson, the southpaw, sends two receivers to the near side. At the deep tailback is the freshman Preston. Back to throw in the slant. Got his man on the hitch pattern at the 45. Slips one tackle across the 50 and into Scripps Ranch territory at the 47-yard line. And again, St. Augustine just churning plays, quickly back on the ball and just moving it. As Scripps Ranch on their heels right now defensively.
Nice job by Harris. 5-yard pass, and he turned it into a 12 or 13-yard gain with that yards after catch. You got to love that as a coach.
So into Falcon territory, 1st and 10. They're going to give it to Preston again, who's looking for some room up the middle, and he's just carrying people with him as he squirts through to the 42-yard line. Pick up about 4 on the play, and a timeout on the field by St. Augustine. 2:40 left to go until halftime, and the Saints holding a 14-7 lead over Scripps Ranch. And once again, a bit of a surprise here tonight as the scrappy Scripps Ranch team, winless on the season, has just been playing as hard-nosed as possible. And really, their offense is just kind of a play or two away from really breaking something.
Yeah, I think that they are. I think that they've just, mix it up a little bit more. We saw on the last series that pass play that fell incomplete, but it was a nice little change from trying to run up the middle. They do need to mix it up a little bit. They just got to give their quarterback an opportunity to try. I mean, he's a sophomore. He's young. But you're 0-8, man. Why not, man? Get out there, and there's no time like the present to get out there and test yourself against a very good football team. You might as well go see where you stand and where you need to go from here.
And Saints definitely not as sharp as they expected to be tonight. Playing a good game, but certainly not their A game so far this evening. Let's give a little shout out to the officials for tonight's game. Our referee is Ed Zapolsky. Our umpire, Mike Sotelo. Head linesman tonight is Derek Vassar. Line judge, Bill McLaughlin. And the back judge, Bill Bishop. On 2nd down and 6 from the 42-yard line, St. Augustine, two receivers near side. Is Hudson back to throw. Slip screen to receiver and picked off by Scripps Ranch at the 40-yard line. And brought down to the 47 of St. Augustine. Wow, what a play by Martell Davis.
Boy, he just kind of slid into the pass pattern. I'm not sure if Hudson even saw him there. Couldn't tell who Hudson was going to try to throw that to. It looked like he was aiming for Tristan Juarez, who was kind of out in the left flat there. But nice job jumping in the middle of that, picking it off, and now the Falcons are back in business.
That slip screen looked like it bounced off the shoulder pad of the intended receiver, and Davis just the right guy at the right place at the right time. Gets the interception for Scripps Ranch, and look at this, new life for the Falcons. 2:32 left to go until the break, and they have the football, 1st and 10 at the St. Augustine 47, and they're going to flip it again, and now it's a pitch pass.
Man is wide open
down middle of the field. He's got his underthrew the receiver. He underthrew his wide open receiver. Ball falls incomplete. Oh, and if that's not a tale of the overall season for Scripps Ranch, I don't know what is.
My goodness. He was 15 or 20 yards past anybody on the St. Augustine defense. Ross Sanchez, he just couldn't slow down enough to let that ball fall into his hands.
Oh, a little bit of trickeration here as Scripps Ranch digs deep into their bag of tricks. On a flea flicker, Ross Sanchez wide open down the middle of the field, and the wingback unable to get him the ball. He did all he could to run backwards and slow down.
Oh, man.
Couldn't put the brakes on. So that should wake up St. Augustine a little bit. And look at this, no safeties. They've got 9, they got 10 in the box here. As a play action, Fisk going to go down deep on the right side again, and this time throws well out of bounds as wide receiver, Brian Thomas, runs out of bounds, and the coaching staff for Scripps Ranch says, hey, he was ridden out of bounds, and there should be a penalty.
Yeah, Dominic Morgan did. He shoved him right out of bounds.
And now the officials are talking about it. Underneath us, the Scripps Ranch fans not particularly pleased with the lack of the call. And here comes the flag. Wow, that's about as late a flag as I've ever seen in football.
And now Coach Sanchez on the opposite sideline is wanting some kind of an explanation as well.
These officials, not easy doing this job. So it'll be pass interference against St. Augustine on a very delayed call. That'll give
15 yards and a first down.
Look at that. Scripps Ranch at the 32-yard line of St. Augustine with 2:21 left to go until halftime. Boy, I don't know. If I was Sanchez, I would be livid right now on a call like that was made well after the play.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Thomas, even if Morgan hadn't have shoved him out of bounds, if Thomas had been able to catch up to that pass.
It looked to be an uncatchable ball, but Scripps Ranch getting some breaks after the interception, and now the pass interference penalty. Have the ball, 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line of St. Augustine, and they're going man-to-man across the board. Everybody's in the box. Everybody's running this time, and now play action by Fish. He rolls to his left, throws it down, looking for his man, and that is, if it's caught, that's a heck of a catch. And they're going to make that a catch at the 30-yard line. Only 2 yards, but Anthony Masudo with a great grab.
Boy, he just laid out and stretched that one hand out there as far as he could to pull that one in.
Probably the best 3-yard catch you're going to see in football.
Exactly.
Fish obviously not the most comfortable throwing the ball right now. He probably hasn't, worked a lot of time with some of these receivers.
And he's under a lot of pressure. I mean, he's young, and he's getting a lot of pressure from the Saints' defensive line, so he's trying to get rid of the ball as quickly as he can.
3 receivers near side, rolling to his right. He's got pressure coming from him. He better watch out. He gets a good
nice
block, finally gets rid of it. And oh my gosh, that was tipped in, an interception by Morgan. Oh my. That was a cluster. That ball was off a shoulder, then thrown back in bounds, and Dominic Morgan for St. Augustine just happened to be standing there off the volleyball tip and caught it. I don't understand why Masudo tipped that ball.
I'm not sure if he was just trying to get a hand on it or knock it down.
Because he did it on purpose. It wasn't like he was trying to catch it. He was like he was almost like a...
trying to play a defense.
Exactly. And the ball fell into Dominic Morgan's hands. And St. Augustine catches a break, and they'll take the ball back at their own 15-yard line. 1:33 left to go until halftime. We've seen a little bit of everything in this ball game. 3 receivers to the far side as Hudson looks to throw. Half pipe looking deep. A nice pass, but overthrows his intended receiver. That was a nice ball. But wide out for St. Augustine, unable to catch up to it, bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he showed a little zip on that. Ryan Harris just couldn't catch up to it. It was a little bit too tall and a little too far downfield. And he was well covered, too, so good to throw it out of the reach of both guys in that case.
I'm still reeling on the interception.
That was
quite
a wild play.
4 players before Morgan watched the ball drop into his hands. And they're going to go 3 receivers again to the top of the screen with the freshman Preston at the eye, dotting in the eye. Hudson calling signals, 4-man set by Scripps. And Hudson going to call his own number on this on the quarterback option across the 20. And he better tuck that ball in a little better as he gets across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Enough for a first down.
It is, 1:21 left to go until halftime, and quickly back on the ball are the Saints. Stay in the same formation with 3 receivers to the right. Hudson calling signals. And that's going to delay that draw over to Preston. Preston finding room at the middle. Look at him go across midfield. And now, who's going to get to the end zone? Is anyone going to catch this young man? The freshman finally brought down in the end zone. Touchdown, Preston. His 3rd score of the night, and he looks exhausted.
74 yards.
Whew. Well, that puts him well over the 100-yard mark for the evening, and then we're only in the first half.
Boy, what a run. He got the ball and found himself a hole. And I think from when he saw the handoff, he saw the hole, he could see the end zone, and that was all he saw. He just went as hard as he could. Look at, he's getting a piggyback right off of the field. He can't run anymore. A
74-yard sprint by the freshman Elijah Preston. And the kick by Sinclair is off the upright, and you will not see him miss many. That is a rare sight. So the extra point is no good, but St. Augustine extends their lead to 20-7 with just 1:01 left to go in this first half. And I'll tell you, Mark, Scripps Ranch had a couple great opportunities in that second quarter with the ball on the St. Augustine side of the field. Just couldn't get something going offensively.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of those. Even if you don't score, you've got to at least hang on to the ball a while, get some momentum going your way. This game is so much about momentum, and they just couldn't do it. They had their opportunities. They got some turnovers. They got some first downs on penalties, but they were unable to capitalize, and now St. Augustine gets the ball back on that interception, and just like that, our super freshman takes it 74 yards into the end zone for another 6 points.
Well, Scripps Ranch evidently has woken the sleeping giant in St. Augustine. But they're playing as scrappy a team as expected. I don't think St. Augustine expected Scripps Ranch to come out here. I think they figured they just kind of lie down and let them run wild over them.
Well, thankfully for all of us watching, they didn't do that because it just makes it for a more interesting game to be a part of. And Scripps Ranch isn't out of this. There's still a long way to go. The whole second half to play, and they're not far. They're like you said a couple minutes ago. They're just a couple plays away from being right back in this all the way.
So Nick Sinclair, who missed the extra point, as it caromed off the upright, will look to kick it away, and he just crushes this one because I think a little bit of frustration in that kick, and that's going to go into the end zone. And Scripps Ranch, Falcon offense will come back on the field. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line with 1:01 left to go until halftime.
80 yards for pay dirt. See if they can get down there.
Maybe get into field goal range.
Yeah,
they
at least
definitely
field
have a
goal
kicker.
range would be nice.
Nick Vildeville's got to be good within 40. You might come out with a little bit of trickeration. Time to have a little fun. You're 0-8 on the season. Had a number of injuries to key starters. So you got a lot of young players filling in, as we've kind of alluded to throughout the broadcast. And they've played an outstanding game so far against one of the top 10 teams in the entire section. Sophomore Josh Fish under center, 4 receivers into the pattern. They send short motion across Masudo. And back to throw is Fish. And Fish gets out of the pocket and says, I'm running this one. And Fish finally brought down at the 26-yard line. But
nice job.
It was.
He stepped up under, he kind of ducked under the rush and just recognized pretty quickly that he didn't have anybody downfield and took off. I mean, that's a heady play for a young guy.
Z. Johns off the field to get the play call. The clock continues to run just 36 seconds. I'm not sure they're going to run one more or not. They probably get one more play in before halftime. Let's see what Scripps Ranch does here. If they do anything crazy or decide to just run this one out and run off to the locker room. Again, they go with a spread formation. Back to throw. No, this time it's a draw again. It's to Stevens. Rather, that's Ray. And Ray is horse collar down to the 35-yard line. No call. Nice run by Skylar Stevens, who has a touchdown as he's kind of holding his arm up, maybe his shoulder hurting him a little bit. 13 seconds left to go until halftime. Ball set at the 35-yard line of Scripps Ranch. As he kills the ball there, as Josh Fish just hammers the ball to the ground with 9 seconds left to go.
I like it. I like the fact that they're not just going to, give up. They still got time left in this half. They're going to try to take another shot. Why not? Again, you're 0-8, man. Coach, go for it. Let these kids play. Let them learn what they can do. This is where they learn confidence. This is where they learn how to play.
All right, Coach, what do you do here? Last play, more than likely the last play of the half from your own 35-yard line. What do you pull out of your bag of tricks?
It'll be interesting. I mean, if you're killing the clock, it means you're not going to be conservative and take a knee. So, I figure he's going to try to look. He's got a spread offense, maybe take a shot downfield. And no, they're going to run a little bit of a draw.
Exactly right on the inside counter. Across the 50-yard line. A nice run that time. And that'll down to 2.5 seconds. Actually, the scoreboard's still showing time on the clock.
Got out of bounds. They got time for another play.
Hey, Thomas with a run and a nice run across midfield into St. Augustine territory. Scripps Ranch and can just see it. And a very youthful, inexperienced team, but they've got it. They're just on that brink, just on the edge of being a really good team. They just have got to work on chemistry and just getting a little more experience with some of their greener players.
Yep, it's about experience.
So coming in the game for Scripps Ranch is Thomas Henger, 6'1", 150 junior. Some wholesale changes. This Skylar Ray coming off. He's been holding that arm up. Maybe a bit of a shoulder stinger. This will be the last play of the first half. From the 47-yard line of St. Augustine, let's see what Saints does. And they're going to go with the run. They're going to go with the pitch pass. And Stevens is absolutely creamed at the 45-yard line. Not a way to end the first half for Scripps Ranch as they jog off the field. Yikes.
Yeah, Stevens was going to try to throw that, and when he looked down for his receiver was well covered, and Robert DeCourt just came plowing into him and put a halt to that right away. But, got to be encouraged. They put together about a 33 or so yard drive there with a minute to go. I mean, they got to build on stuff like that. They got to look up and say, hey, we did a few good things there. And, again, these kids are young, and they're getting a valuable game experience. There's just no substitute except to be out there playing. And, at halftime, you got to believe Coach Meyer is going to say, look, kids, let's just continue to have fun. This is a game. Let's go out and keep playing hard, keep playing as hard as you can and as smart as you can, and just learn from this.
Well, the homecoming festivities to begin here for St. Augustine, and we are at the end of the first half of play with St. Augustine leading Scripps Ranch by a score of 20-7. We'll be back in a few moments with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show, so don't go anywhere. It's Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. And welcome back to the PlayOnSports.com halftime show, coming to you from the campus of Mesa College in San Diego, California. Alongside Mark Grumman, I'm TC Wardell. Our halftime score is St. Augustine's 20 and Scripps Ranch 7. And Mark, I'll tell you, this game took a turn that I think surprises a lot of the St. Augustine fans and players. Scripps Ranch really playing a scrappy, tough football game tonight.
They really are, and we continue to talk about how they're young and how they're winless. But you know what? They're playing hard, and this is a time when Coach Meyer is trying to instill in his kids what it's like to be a winning program, what it's like to play hard, and you know, they got to start somewhere. They're starting to, with a group of kids here that's young, inexperienced, and he's molding these guys. They're going through the fire. You talk about some of the teams that they've played this year, a bunch of top 10 teams. Their schedule has been tough, and they've lost a lot of guys. They've got a sophomore at quarterback, and you know, they're getting a ton of experience. It's going to be valuable for years to come. So it's encouraging to see them. They got off to a quick start with that touchdown to open the game. And St. Augustine has come back, but the Falcons have not rolled over. They're still playing hard.
Now, speaking of that first score, Skylar Ray stunned this homecoming St. Augustine crowd with a 74-yard touchdown run on the fourth play of the game, giving Scripps Ranch an early 7-0 lead, but roaring right back. And it was St. Augustine. Their freshman running back, Elijah Preston, has 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. The last one, a 74-yarder, to give St. Augustine a 27 halftime lead. He is something else. And the freshmen, Eastern League defensive coordinators are going to hate the fact that they're going to have to face him the next 3 years.
He is impressive. He's shown he plays older than his years. I mean, a freshman that shows the patience, the vision, and just the explosiveness that we've seen from him. That last long touchdown run, the 70-plus yards, he just saw the hole, and as he looked down he was looking all the way down the field before he got the handoff. He saw it, and he went and got it. The kid has just been real impressive. He's taken a lot of hits and still continuing to pick up yards after he gets contact. You know, he's young, but he is a strong kid that's going to be here for a while. He's going to make an impact on this league for another 3 years.
Well, Scripps Ranch has had opportunities inside St. Augustine territory a number of times tonight, and they were unable to convert those into points. So just a play or two away from making things happen, but they've really frustrated the St. Augustine football team tonight. Granted, the Saints have been able to move almost at will this first half down the field, but they've only put 20 points on the board, which is a rarity against a team like this. And an 0-8 Scripps Ranch football team who's staying inside this game against the number 9 team in the land. I'm really impressed by this young program. Coach Joey Meyer has got a lot of youth, has got a lot of injuries to starters. He's kind of piecemealing and patching a team together week after week. And these guys are just never say die, no quit.
Yeah, he's just got to continue to teach them and encourage them to keep playing hard and just have fun with the game. Just realize that they're trying to build a program and hopefully a long-standing winning tradition that these are the ones that are going to get it going. And if you can get kids to buy into that, man, they can do just about anything.
We'll give you a quick halftime score of PlayOnSports.com, also covering the big game in the South Bay tonight. East Lake taking on undefeated Olympian, and Olympian with a late touchdown by Antrell Snowden has a 21-17 halftime lead over East Lake in a game that will pretty much decide the Metro Mesa League, and certainly Olympian would love to finish the season 10-0 this year as they look to redeem themselves after losing to Cathedral Catholic in last year's Division III championship game and losing big 41-7, game that we were able to see. This is not the same Olympian team. They're a year older, a year wiser, and they're looking for redemption this year. They look at every time they take the field.
Yeah, they're excited. They are playing like a team that has something to prove and something that they want to get that they just missed last year.
Well, that's going to do it for the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Friday Night Football will return in just a few moments with the start of the second half, right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. And welcome back to PlayOnSports.com from Mesa College in San Diego, California. It's an Eastern League matchup between Scripps Ranch and St. Augustine as we break into the third quarter here. TC Wardell alongside Mark Grumman for PlayOnSports.com. St. Augustine holding a 20-7 halftime lead will get the kickoff on the 9-iron chip shot by Scripps Ranch. Picked up and fumbled, and Scripps Ranch has it.
How about that?
Oh, to open the second half of play. And who else? Skylar Ray on the recovery. Unbelievable. They catch St. Augustine off guard with that Mark Grumman 9-iron for about 35 yards, trying to find the green.
How about that? What a great opening there for Scripps Ranch, just to pop it into that little open space there. And I didn't see who it was for St. Augustine running up trying to catch, make the catch, but, obviously he didn't make it. And Scripps Ranch is in business right away inside the 30-yard line, inside the 25.
Wow, the up back for St. Augustine definitely not ready for that ball. Bounced off his chest and right into Skylar Ray's hands, who was flying down for Scripps Ranch. What an opportunity for the Falcons. Their first possession. Ball's at the 23-yard line of St. Augustine. They trail 20-7, just underway in the second half of play. As they send Masudo in motion, and they hand this one off to Stevens. Stevens runs his own man that bumps out to the outside, gets a great block, and just like that, Scripps Ranch into the end zone. Oh, and this homecoming crowd for St. Augustine is just shocked. Unbelievable start to this second half of play. That was Stevens for the Falcons on the 23-yard touchdown run.
And you got to believe the halftime speech from Coach Meyer just was something included like, let's just go have some fun. Let's play some fun football. And look at that. How much more fun does it get than to get basically an onside kick kind of a situation and then a quick score.
Moreno's extra point is good. And just like that, in 11 seconds, Scripps Ranch narrows the margin 20-14 against St. Augustine thanks to a recovery of an onside kick. 2 plays later, Stevens finds his way in the end zone.
Folks, do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Well, tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Well, this is a never-say-die Scripps Ranch football team, 0-8 on the season, but they're not playing like that tonight. As they open the second half with an onside kick that they recover 2 plays later. Running back Shea Stevens finds his way in from 23 yards out, thanks to some great blocking downfield.
Well, and Stevens took the handoff and immediately ran into the back of his center, who had been pushed back into the backfield by the defensive lineman, and he just bounced it outside for the score.
Look at that kickoff deep into the end zone by Moreno, and St. Augustine now jogs out on offense at their own 20-yard line. You've got to be a little shell-shocked right now if you're the St. Augustine team. Like, this Scripps Ranch team doesn't play like they're 0-8 or winless. This is a team that really came out here to win.
Yeah, they sure did. They're playing hard. They're playing fun. They, too, need to make sure they stay within themselves and not think that, suddenly the game's over because we just scored a touchdown. They're still down 6, but, this is the kind of stuff that gets a team fired up and puts some momentum on your side.
Well, so far it's been the Elijah Preston show for St. Augustine. 3 touchdown runs in the first half. And back to throw is Hudson. Finds his man at the hitch pattern, incomplete. And finally, double team, triple team brought down to the 26-yard line. Quick 7 yards by Tim Chapman. And that'll bring up, call it 6 yards, second down and 4.
Yeah, Chapman had quite a bit of room. Jelani Wooten's cornerback over there was playing off him a bit. So may want to tighten that up a little bit, take away those. I mean, that's an 8-yard gain. Now you got, or 7 yards. Second and 3 is a nice down to have if you're an offensive coordinator.
Ball's at the 27-yard line for St. Augustine. Their first possession of the second half. 2 receivers at the top of your screen. Again, Hudson looking to throw. Heavy pressure coming. He eludes one man. He's got white jerseys everywhere and finally brought down, and we may get a face mask penalty against a heavy rushing Scripps Ranch team. Boy, they did a great job of rushing Hudson, but I think one of the oncoming defensive lineman may have got a hand on Hudson's mask.
Yeah, I think you're right, TC, and there's a call. What a shame. They had 4 guys back there chasing him down and just inadvertently got a hand in on the face mask, and instead of a big sack, you're giving up 15 yards.
But look at that. What a kind of rush that was. Everybody was a party in the backfield for Scripps Ranch, as Hudson had absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, Hudson was completely under duress, had nowhere to look or go, and just trying to avoid the rush.
But the penalty will bail him out. Actually, they'll lose a few yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and a long 5 from their own 25-yard line. 10:55 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 20-14, St. Augustine having a tough time getting rid of the Scripps Ranch team. The southpaw quarterback fires it out to the 30-yard line, complete, and enough for a 1st down for St. Augustine, having a lot of success out in the flat. I think that was hard to tell who the wideout was on the reception. It might have been Chapman.
Yeah, it was hard to see the number on that one, but Hudson's showing a nice job of mobility. He's throwing on the run a lot on the rollouts, so whether to the right or the left. He's really showing some good balance and getting his feet under him and delivering a nice pass while he's on the run.
They go unbalanced to the right this time. And they know that's where the ball's going, and that's exactly where Preston decides to follow. And this time, Preston continuing to bring his feet, but Scripps Ranch defense there to meet him as all 11 players for the Falcons work to bring Preston down. Going to place the ball at the 38-yard line, bringing up 3rd down and about 3. I'm going to call that 2nd down and 3, excuse me.
Another tough run by that young man.
Oh.
Preston is just a tough kid. I'm impressed a lot.
3 touchdowns and over 100 yards in the first half alone tonight. And now this time a hard count by Hudson. That draws Scripps Ranch off sides. And tack on another 5 yards. That should be enough for a 1st down for St. Augustine. Or in Mark Grumman verbiage, free yards.
Free yardage.
Free yards better than no yardage.
That's right. I'm sure that young freshman running back Preston is happy to get those 5 yards without having to take some hits along the way.
5'5", 175 he's listed at. I don't think he's more than 160. But he's one heck of a runner. Boy, he's tough to bring down because one hit, one piece of contact isn't enough. He's going to need a gang of people to bring this young man down. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage is Hudson. 2 receivers, top of the screen. Preston want to hear what the play call is. Blitz coming up the middle, and they're going to go run away from it as Preston finds some room around the left edge. Still on his feet across midfield to the 45 and down to the 44-yard line. Unbelievable. Just when you think you've got this young man on the ground, he squirts out for another 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, again, that vision of just and patience of seeing things collapse. So you think there's a hole, it's gone, and he bounces it out, and he continues to bounce it out, and suddenly he's got a 13-yard pickup.
He's working toward a 200-yard night. As Saints with a 1st down into Scripps Ranch territory at the 44-yard line. They go with a 2 tight end set this time. And they're going to play action again. Hudson going to throw it out to the flat, wide open to the 40-yard line. Got his man. And near the 1st down sticks at the 33. Should be close to a 1st down for St. Augustine. You know, so far this evening, they've really had a lot of success in the flat area because, as you had mentioned earlier, those corners for Scripps Ranch have really been playing off their wideouts.
That and the running game is helping a ton. I mean, you got to account for Elijah Preston pretty much every play, and just a little bit of a play action that just opens it up for the receivers.
Got man-to-man. Actually, they move back to their cover 2. 2nd and a foot, and they're going to give it to the running back up the middle. This time off his run and running over people, still on his feet across the 20-yard line. Comes the understudy for Preston. That's running back Francois Sims, giving Preston a little bit of a breather. And look at Sims run across the 20 to about the 18-yard line, and another 1st down for St. Augustine.
And that's another freshman running back they've got. Francois Sims II, 5'11", 210-pound freshman.
How would you like to be a defensive coordinator for the Eastern League for the next 3 years?
I think I'd rather be St. Augustine's offensive coordinator.
We have an injury on the field. The Scripps Ranch player down. 8:28 left to go in the 3rd quarter. St. Augustine with a 20-14 lead, but on the move with the ball at the 18-yard line of Scripps Ranch.
Folks, Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. So you can follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Well, the injured player for Scripps Ranch, Desmond Simmons, coming off on his own power, but with a bit of a limp. It looks like he may have an ankle injury. And certainly Scripps Ranch, as thin as they are on the roster, can afford to have anybody hurt. This year has been pretty much marred by injuries to key personnel. As St. Augustine up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line of Scripps Ranch. 2 receivers set to the far side. That's Chapman solo to the near side. And they go to Chapman on the hitch pattern again, and a nice downfield open tackle. Well, almost tackled, and then finally pushed out of bounds. Down at the 14-yard line, kept that to only a 5-yard pickup.
Tim Chapman on the reception. Real nice job driving downfield and then planting hard and turning back for the reception, getting his defender off of him and giving him some room once he makes that catch.
And Johnny Wooten's had a long night against Chapman here, but done a good job for the most part as it's second down on the long 5. Set the ball at the 14-yard line. Blitz coming, and Hudson's going to run away from it. Look from the flat, look for his man. He's got him in the end zone. Touchdown, St. Augustine. Bradley Hamill, first time we call his number tonight.
And again, a nice rollout by Hudson. He probably could have run that one in himself. I was looking ahead of him. I don't think he would have been touched. He probably had plenty of room to run that all the way in, but he saw his teammate down in the end zone already. And Hamill had lots of room as well, got behind his defensive back, and great job by Hudson to deliver the touchdown pass.
Oh, and just like that, the St. Augustine offense just rolls downfield. And it looks like they are going to go for 2 as they hold a 26-14 lead right now in a 2-point attempt as Hamill runs in motion across the formation. Blitz coming here. He almost picked up Hudson immediately. Heavy rush, wide open to the flat. Hamill on the screen out. Touchdown, 2-point conversion is good as Scripps Ranch brought the house. Almost got Hudson in the backfield. Hudson just able to get that ball out to the flat to Hamill. And the 2-point conversion is good, and it's a 28-14 lead again for St. Augustine.
I think that was Corey Bryant, the safety, who came just flying up from the defensive backfield and got through the defensive line, or the offensive line, and just about got a hand on Hudson. Hudson did a great job avoiding that and delivering again to his target, Hamill, and this time they connect for a 2-point conversion.
So it's a 14-point lead once again for St. Augustine as they just can't seem to shake this Scripps Ranch Falcons football team with 8:04 left to go in the third quarter. Scripps Ranch ready to receive the kick from Sinclair.
And you got I'm sure Coach Sanchez over there on the sideline for the Saints is really pleased to see his team respond. I mean, Scripps Ranch came out and stole the ball, got the ball back real quick on that opening second half kickoff, scored really fast. Nice to see your team respond with a nice drive, take it all the way down and score. So, certainly it shocked them a little bit, but it didn't knock them out too much.
This might be the best game Scripps Ranch has played all season long. Again, we've talked about it earlier, one of the most brutal schedules in the San Diego section. And then doesn't get any easier here, taking on number 9, St. Augustine, as the ball is taken at the 3-yard line by Stevens. Stevens cuts the 10 and gets to the 20 to maybe the 21-yard line before he's finally wrestled down, and that is where the Falcons will take over 1st and 10 with 7:58 left to go in the third quarter.
A rare return opportunity for Scripps Ranch, and they ended up getting pretty much the same thing they would if it had gone in the end zone. Well, plus 1 yard.
Yeah, it would have been with less pain. So the Falcon offense back on the field. Let's see what they can put together as they trail 28-14 to St. Augustine. So far the Falcon offense has been varied and wild and woolly, pulling out just about everything they can out of their bag of tricks tonight. They're going to go with a second back through Stevens. Stevens lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage as he can't find much room off the right guard.
Yeah, Stevens is kind of a little contrast in style there. Stevens saw the line collapse and he stopped and was trying to find something where we've seen the freshman over on the other side, Elijah Preston. There is no stop in that kid. He finds another way and he's gone.
St. Augustine just packing the box here. 2nd and 9 from the 21. They're going to run the option to the left. Not a whole lot of room, and one lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, as I don't think that is a play you want to run against the St. Augustine team that's lining up everybody pretty much on the line of scrimmage.
Where they're trying just about anything and everything, huh?
Every play possible.
Open up the playbook and see what we got. Let's try it.
Option, misdirection, wing T stuff. They'll spread it out and try to throw. They'll run draws, bubble screens. Yeah. Anything and everything in this one for Scripps Ranch. Just trying, like the coach said, anything it takes to get 4 yards. As they go basically with 4 receivers set to the top of the screen. The tight ends up there as well. As Fish rolls out to his right. Looking downfield, can't get anybody, and he is dropped at the 15-yard line. As he was swarmed, trying to get to the corner, nobody open downfield. And the sack will bring the ball back to the 15, and the punting unit on the field for Scripps Ranch.
Yeah, that was coverage sack all the way. There was nobody open downfield. Great job by the defensive backfield of St. Augustine to just not allow any open receivers, and Fish could do nothing. I mean, there was nowhere for him to go. And that gave the defensive line of St. Augustine an opportunity to get up to him.
Nick Vildeville standing at his own goal line, ready to kick this one away. Slow snap, needs to get this one out of there, and does. Knuckleballer picked up at the 40-yard line by Morgan. Morgan still on his feet across the 30 to the 25. Morgan still on his feet to the 20 to the 15. Now it's a race to the end zone, gets the edge, and touchdown, St. Augustine. Morgan dips and dives his way 40 yards on the punt return for the score, and St. Augustine extends their lead to 34-14.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah. Well, he was down a few times. He did a good job of keeping his feet and staying above because he was hit a few times back at the 20. I thought he was already on the ground. And great show of balance and speed. And explains why St. Augustine's the number 9 team in the land in San Diego section.
Yeah, a lot of weapons on this team over here.
Another factor into the game with Scripps Ranch, a lot of players going both ways as we're midway through the 3rd quarter. A lot of lactic acid buildup as Nick Sinclair just uses a driving iron to get that one barely over the crossbar, and it's good. And the Saints now lead 35-15.
It looked like the T.C. Wardell 1 iron.
Yeah, 35-14, I should say. Thanks a lot.
I meant that in the best possible way.
I'm sure you did.
Folks, PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
T.C. Wardell alongside my partner, Mark Grumman from Mesa College in San Diego, California. St. Augustine, the number 9 team in the land, has opened up a 35-14 lead over Scripps Ranch. And I think the Falcons right now may be feeling a little bit of lactic acid and heaviness to those legs, as a lot of these players going both ways on a very, very thin roster.
Yeah, that takes its toll. I mean, they had a lot of energy in the first half, but I think you're calling it. They just look like they're a little lethargic, a little tired, and then, it doesn't help when you have a punt return for a kickoff against you. That just kind of takes the wind out of your sails, too.
So 5:54 left to go in the 3rd quarter. St. Augustine with a 35-14 lead, and they'll be kicking it away to Skylar Ray and Brian Thomas standing in their own 2-yard line. Sinclair, who's got an extremely strong leg. And there he does, shows that line drive there into the end zone, not giving Scripps Ranch any opportunity to return, and they'll take over at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Be curious to see what the Falcons do this next time with the ball in their hands. So Coach Meyer's going to see what he dials up. See if we've seen quite a bit. We've seen the spread. We've seen some option. We've seen some counters. It's quite the mixed bag of plays. And again, I just kind of believe he's just trying stuff out to see what they're going to be doing in the years to come.
Yeah, maybe their old run and shoot will come back for Scripps Ranch as they go with 4 receivers this time, 2 to either side. Sophomore Josh Fish under center. Masudo in motion, and they run it inside, and not a whole lot of room for Stevens. He's not had a very good night outside of his touchdown run. Every time they try to put him in between the guards, he gets hammered back.
Yeah, that play worked once, and that was the first, at the beginning of their first drive when they got that long touchdown run. Since then, St. Augustine's been all over it.
They've had much more success trying to get around the edge than they have between the tackles tonight. 5:27 and counting here in the third quarter. As Josh Fish sends his receivers to either side, they're spread with 4. Stevens in the backfield. Everybody in the box for St. Augustine going man-to-man with their corners. Fish just throwing this one up and had a man open. That was Thomas, but threw it out of bounds. As Thomas was wide open about the 35-yard line, but definitely not on the same page with Fish.
No, I think Fish was just unloading that just to avoid a sack. The defense was getting in there quickly, and he just let it go, which is unfortunate because Thomas was wide open. That would have been a nice gain for the Falcons.
Josh Fish, just a sophomore, folks. Quarterback for Scripps Ranch. Never easy for a sophomore quarterback on a varsity team. I should know. I've lost enough varsity games as a sophomore back in my day as a quarterback for my team.
Quite the learning curve.
Oh, to say the least. They set motion, 2 receivers near side. Now play action, looking to throw again over the middle. Has his man incomplete to Masudo. He just gunned that one behind his big tight end, and that'll fall incomplete and bring up another 4th down for Scripps Ranch. They'll have to kick it away.
Yeah, a little more time that time in the back, standing back there, and Masudo cutting across the middle was open enough for that connection to have worked. Just a little bit behind the receiver. But, you know, again, you got to look at things like that and say, okay, be encouraged. He had some time. The offensive line gave him time. He was able to step in there and let go a good pass. It just didn't get the completion. Vildabill
with some time to punt this one up. A nice high punt. Going to land at the 40 and head out of bounds and picked up, careful, at the 45. Morgan is playing with fire when he returns punts. That's the 3rd time tonight he's kind of either semi-muffed or just kind of hung too close to the ball. So he's not listening to his special teams coach, obviously.
Yeah, once that thing hits the ground, unless you've got nobody within, 20 or 30 yards of you, it's just best to let it go.
Got to believe, as I watch him jog out of bounds, he's going to get an earful from one of the coaches on the sideline.
He's all fired up after that last return for a touchdown. He wants to do it again.
Absolutely right. So Saints will get excellent field position at midfield. 4:54 left to go in the third, and they're going to give the ball again to Preston. They're going to let him continue to go to work, and this time the right side of the Scripps Ranch defensive line all over it and drop Preston for a yard loss.
I think that might be the only tackle for a loss that we've seen from him. That Matthew Tolliver in there on the defensive line did a nice job of wrapping him up. Actually threw him back for half a yard loss.
Yeah, he is a north-south runner, no doubt about it. He's got nice moves, but he can outrun you, and he keeps his legs going. And Sims, I believe, now replacing him in the backfield. 2 receivers set to the far side. 2nd and 11 from the 49. Sims is going to get the call off the right side. Sims maneuvers across the 45-yard line to about the 43. It's a nice tandem to have for St. Augustine. 2 incredibly talented freshman running backs.
Boy, no kidding. Yeah, that was a nice cutback by Sims there to, he started off right and he was just able to cut it back. He recognized quickly that the hole wasn't there, cut it back to the left, and there we got an 8-yard pickup.
I'm thinking I could play quarterback for St. Augustine for the next 3 years with 2 running backs like that. 3rd and 2 from the 37-yard line, rather the 43-yard line. As Hudson looking to throw, rolls to his left. Southpaw fires in the flat, has his man at the 38 and across the 35 to the 33-yard line. Is complete to,
I believe that was Harris.
I believe you're right.
Again, nice job by Hudson to just roll out and be patient, let his man come open before he delivers, and just like that, it's another 1st down.
We're going to have to ask these players to straighten their jerseys out so we can see their numbers a lot better. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of Scripps Ranch. St. Augustine on the move. 3-step drop, has a man in the hitch pattern at the 27. Makes a nice move with the 20 across the 15, close to the 10-yard line. That time it's Chapman. And this Scripps Ranch defense really starting to show some signs of fatigue now. You're just seeing a lot of hands on hips.
Yeah, walking slowly back to the defensive huddles. I mean, it's just all the telltale signs of a tired team.
Ball is at the 11-yard line of Scripps Ranch. St. Augustine with a 35-14 lead with 3:15 left to go in the third quarter. They're looking to punch another one in. 2 receivers, top of the screen. Sims with the carry right up the middle. Nobody there. He just waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Augustine.
That's about as easy as it gets right there.
And you could see a lot of leaded legs there for Scripps Ranch. They have played an outstanding football game, as tough as it comes. But this defense may be worn out at this point in time. At 3:01 left to go in the third.
Yeah, there's only so much gas in the tank, and they've expended quite a bit of theirs.
They've given the Saints quite a fight tonight, regardless the score. As Sinclair looks to hit the extra point, it's perfect, and it is a 42-14 St. Augustine lead over Scripps Ranch with 3:01 left to go in the third quarter.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here. And folks, we invite you to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com post-game show, where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
The St. Augustine Saints, the number 9 team in the San Diego section, really opening it up here in the third quarter with 3 touchdowns, and now hold a 42-14 lead over a tired but never say die Scripps Ranch football team with 3:01 left to go in the third.
Yeah, they're going to need to dig deep, these Falcons, just to hang in. They've still got more than a quarter of football yet to play, and they got to just play for pride right now, play for just to get out there and get the experience and try not to get down on themselves. Just know that they've played a hard-fought football game and be proud of that.
Time to have some fun here and try to work on that offense as Sinclair knocks this one well into the end zone. Nowhere to go with it. Not many opportunities for Scripps Ranch to return a Sinclair kick tonight, as the ball will go first and 10 from the 20, where the Scripps Ranch offense will go to work.
See if they can put together somewhat of a sustained drive.
And maybe throw a few trick plays in here just to have a little bit of fun. If they trail 42-14 to a St. Augustine team that probably feels they've got this one pretty well locked up here. So they might be able to get the defense on their toes a little bit, or actually on their heels a little bit. As Fish sets under center. Got wings at either side, and they're going to go with the jet sweep to the left. Finding some room across the 20 to about the 23-yard line is Thomas. They just try to continue to hammer the ball away. They're probably not too comfortable with Josh Fish yet in the passing game. I think it maybe just a matter of practice and experience and anything else.
Well, there's no time like the present for that.
Yeah.
Now, you know, again, with really nothing on the line, why not? You know, let's go. I mean, and why not practice against one of the better teams you're going to face at all? You might as well get out there and give it a go and let him gain that experience.
Stevens working off the right side across the 25 to the 27-yard line. They just keep hammering away off tackle. Pick up about 3 on the play. Once again, another 3rd down and 3 for Scripps Ranch.
Yeah, Coach Myers' biggest job this season has really nothing to do with the X's and O's. I mean, obviously they got to teach them how to play the game properly, but it's about the psyche of these guys and getting them to believe in themselves, to know that they can do this. And again, you can never undervalue game experience, and that's what these kids are getting. I mean, they're getting a lot of not just game experience; they're playing game experience against great football teams this year. So it's so invaluable for them.
They run the option to the left side. That's Thomas across the 30, 35 to the 39-yard line. No, that isn't Mr. Thomas. A good run, but I think no, I don't see no flags on the. I don't see any flags on the field. I'm sorry. I believe that was Martell Davis, the pitch back on the carry. Made a nice run down to the 39-yard line. That'll be a first down for Scripps Ranch.
Yeah, see, encouraging.
Probably not a play that St. Augustine was prepared for. But boy, take a look at the St. Augustine defense in their setup before the snap. There are sometimes 10 players in the box just expecting the run.
Yeah, they are certainly set up for the run.
As they spread it out defensively now a little bit more, as they have 4 receivers spread out. They're going to run the option again. This time Davis can't handle a pitch and jumped right back on it at the 34-yard line. Lucky to get that ball back as Quarterback Josh Fish was just smothered before the pitch.
Yeah, Robert DeCourt, the big tight end, or tight end slash defensive end for the Saints, was all over Fish, and Fish just did everything he could to get rid of the ball and threw it a little bit hard off of Martell Davis.
That's 6'2", 175 pounds wet is the quarterback Josh Fish. But he's only a sophomore, a lot of room to grow into that frame. And I expect to see him working on the passing game, especially in summer passing leagues next year. And in the off season, working on footwork. I formation, 2 receivers near side. Stevens get the call again. Boy, they keep pounding Stevens between the guards. And there's just not a lot of room to run as he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a tough second and, 14 or so yard call.
Yeah. Stevens is probably telling coach, hey, get me on a stretch play or a sweep once in a while. Let me get outside the tackles. As we have a timeout on the field. Actually, no, it's not a timeout. We're going to call it the end of the third quarter. As we go to quarter number 4, it is St. Augustine 42, Scripps Ranch 14.
Hey, folks, do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups just like the game you're watching here tonight? Well, tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
From Mesa College in San Diego, California, PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. T.C. Wardell alongside Mark Grumman. In an Eastern League matchup where St. Augustine, the number 9 team in the section, well in control, 42-14 over a scrappy Scripps Ranch football team who right now kind of got their tongues hanging out and their legs a little leaded. And just trying to hang on and do whatever they can to present as good a show as possible. A very young, injury-plagued football team this season, but they have played with a lot of heart here tonight.
And they've made a really good showing tonight. I mean, it's like you said, they're just a thin roster. They don't have a whole lot of guys, and they're tired, and it shows. They had a good first half. They hung in there. They came out and scored real quickly, and they were just only down a touchdown. So they were right there, but, they just got gassed. And St. Augustine, I mean, clearly the better team overall. They've got this, they're a powerhouse, and Scripps Ranch is young and inexperienced, and it's beginning to show. 3rd
and 14 for the Falcons. Play action, Fish under pressure, throwing it on the screen. Nice play call and dropped by Ray. He had a convoy of blockers in front of him and very few purple jerseys, and Ray couldn't hang on to the ball on the screen pass. That's kind of, once again, the story of the year for the Scripps Ranch team. Almost, but never quite enough.
Boy, that was very almost, because there was nobody. If he makes that catch, he's got 2 blockers and he's got 60 yards of open field in front of him, and he would have had it all by himself going downfield. It's just one of those inexperienced things. Maybe a little better pass from Fish might have helped. But
low snap. Vildebo gets it away to Morgan. Morgan, he's crazy as a punt returner down to the 45-yard line. He has got to give his special teams coach heartburn every time he tries to return a kick.
Making a shoestring catch with a defender right in front of him.
Oh, my gosh. But he makes big plays, including a 40-yard punt return for a touchdown tonight. But he's also going to give his special teams coach a stroke every once in a while, staying too close to the ball. You got to like his aggressiveness. But sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, and I think that's something he's going to have to learn over the years.
Yeah, it's in a game like this, I think he can maybe take some chances. But you get in a big championship game or something that could cost you big time. Right. You certainly don't want him taking those kinds of chances.
Well, Sim's still in the game and trying to get to the right edge, and does. Powers over midfield and almost breaks away from the second level to about the 48-yard line. That's just another freshman they have. They just keep reloading here on the offensive side at St. Augustine.
Boy, between Sims and Preston, boy, there's just not going to be enough touches to go around for the next 3 years.
I'd be recruiting linemen for the next 2 years, as big and as strong as possible. Let these guys run right behind them. And Saints on 2nd and 3 from the 47-yard line of Scripps Ranch. 2 receivers set to the near side. And they're going to give it again to Sims, this time off the left side. Breaks one tackle, can't get by the other, and it takes an entire convoy of white jerseys just to push him back. As he takes a little exception to that little extra push after the whistle. And he's going to be just shy of the first down. Call it 3rd and 1 from the 46-yard line. 10:44 left to go in the ball game.
You got Sims listed at 5'11", 210. He does seem like he's got a little bit. I mean, obviously he's a bit taller than what we see out of Preston, and he's a thick kid for a freshman.
How much room he has to grow into that frame. Both these guys by their senior years are going to be fire plugs. Play action this time, rolling to his right. Hudson looking for some room, getting to the edge, gets there. 45, gets a nice block and runs out of bounds at about the 41-yard line, and enough for a first down as 2 Scripps Ranch players were absolutely decked when they tried to pursue. As an outstanding block downfield by the tight end, Patrick Dixon.
Yep, just freed up his quarterback so he could get around the corner, pick up that first down. And, you know, another weapon for the Saints is that they got a quarterback that's got that kind of mobility to be able to pick up the first down.
And he's only a junior, JoJo Hudson, and they've got a sophomore right behind him, Tommy Goodrich, who's just as talented. As Hudson going to hand this one off to Sims, who works out the right side. Sims just carrying people near the 30-yard line, almost 10 yards on the pickup, as he's dragging Scripps Ranch players with him.
Interesting to see the difference in their running styles between Sims and Preston. Sims, I mean, I just had a vision of Eric Dickerson, kind of straight up and down. Eddie George, big kid, big guy running the ball, just up and pretty upright and just power running.
Another Pony Express backfield here for the St. Augustine Saints for years to come with Sims and Preston. Pickup of 9 on the play, 2nd and 1 for St. Augustine from the 31-yard line of Scripps Ranch. As Hudson looking to throw, plenty of time over the middle, has the man caught at the 18-yard line. What a grab in traffic. Shields the defender. That's the big tight end, Patrick Dixon. Just took that away from the defender.
Yeah, Skylar Ray was hanging all over him when Dixon made that catch. And JoJo Hudson was real close to getting hit on that play. He got rid of the ball just in time. In fact, I hear a couple of the fans over here on the side over here at Scripps Ranch, get him! But unfortunately got rid of the ball. Made the connection, 1st and 10 for the Saints.
As Hudson sets under center and 2 receivers near side, they're going to run this ball again up the middle. That's Sims finding lots of room, breaking tackles across the 5, down to the 3-yard line, and you could just see the Scripps Ranch defense absolutely gassed as Sims just picks his way upfield. And now St. Augustine looking to score once more, 1st and goal with 9 minutes left to go in the ball game. And a timeout on the field. Another oxygen break for the Scripps Ranch football team. We'll take one with them. 9 minutes left to go. Scripps Ranch in control, rather St. Augustine in control, 42-14.
And PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. You can follow us on both Facebook and Twitter, and you can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOn Network. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
An Eastern League matchup between the number 9 ranked St. Augustine Saints taking on the winless Scripps Ranch Falcons, who have played an inspired football game here tonight. They were at one point down by only a touchdown, actually down by just 6 points early in the beginning of the second half, but St. Augustine's offense explodes in the third quarter for 3 touchdowns and another one here in the fourth, and they've really opened this game up. 42-14, and are knocking on the door again with the ball 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. As Hudson sets under center, 2 receivers near side. Sims playing most of the way at tailback for St. Augustine. Freshman has had an outstanding night and just in limited duty. Filling in for Elijah Preston, once another freshman, as Sims gets the call this time at the right side, breaks a tackle, and works toward about the 2-yard line. He did a nice job of saving it from being a loss by keeping those legs churning.
Yeah, nice spin there in the backfield to shake off that defender. I mean, all of a sudden he was in the backfield getting the handoff. Josh Fish, playing some defense, got back there, went to reach to make a tackle, and Sims spun right out and left Josh with nobody there.
Josh Fish, the starting quarterback, playing free safety. Never a good thing. As Hudson on the quarterback keeper right up the middle. Indication it's good. Hudson is in for a touchdown for St. Augustine.
I think he's earned a trip to the end zone. He's had a pretty good ball game tonight.
He's done a good job managing this offense and orchestrating strong drives. Nothing flashy. His passing numbers aren't going to be particularly impressive, but the scoreboard tells it all with a 48-14 lead.
But he's been real efficient when he has thrown the ball. I mean, they've been pretty conservative. A lot of
Sinclair's kick is good. And a 49-14 lead now for St. Augustine with 8:22 left to go in this ball game.
Yeah, Hudson's been really, really effective with the underneath passing game. I mean, he's found tight ends after tight end open on the short outs and crossing patterns, and hasn't really taken it downfield pretty much at all that I can even recall any kind of long pass attempt. But he's been quite effective and very accurate, rolling out and hitting guys on the short pattern. So he's done a great job managing this. And like you said, it'd be nice to be the quarterback for St. Augustine over the next couple of years when you get to hand off to Preston and Sims.
Well, more than likely, this is going to be a loss for Scripps Ranch, going 0-9 on the season. Next week in the season finale, they take on their crosstown rival, Mesa, in what would hope to be one opportunity for a victory. But Mesa, another outstanding football team, not ranked this year, a little down from prior years, but still, nonetheless, still an outstanding team. And that's always a big game between these two teams. I actually work in the Scripps Ranch area, and I know I'm right between these two high schools. And that'll be a big week of build-up for both programs. So it'll be an exciting game next week, win, lose, or draw. This has been an outstanding finish here for Scripps Ranch team. And once again, we've alluded to this throughout the entire broadcast, a very young and injury-plagued team throughout the entire season. It's been a patchwork program. Coach Meyer's done a good job of keeping these kids together, their heads up, their focus right. And I just think, you just see good things for this team in the years to come.
I totally agree. I think Coach Meyer is going to get this program up and running again in no time at all with this talented bunch of young guys.
So an opportunity to return this one is Stevens across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Stevens with his only second opportunity really returning a kick, as Sinclair usually sends it to the next county on his kickoffs.
Yeah, I think they've only had about 2 that they could return tonight.
So Josh Fish, the sophomore quarterback, baptism by fire for a lot of these Scripps Ranch players this year. Getting a lot of opportunities in game time situations, a lot of bullets being thrown at them. It'll pay off in years to come. And they have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. 7:26 left to go in the ball game. Little change in formation here. 4 receivers in the pattern. They're going to go deep down the right side, and Fish just tosses that one out of bounds. And really, Josh Fish just doesn't look very comfortable in the pocket throwing.
No, he doesn't. He just doesn't look like he is comfortable at all. He's getting rid of the ball quickly. He seems like he's in a hurry. And, part of the reason is because St. Augustine's putting some pressure on. But even when there isn't pressure, he does just seem like he's just not quite comfortable. He's not there yet.
But as a sophomore, this first year, he didn't have a whole lot of time to prep for a passing game. So 2nd and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Motion across the formation. They're going to sweep toss this one to Stevens. Stevens looking to get to the edge, gets a couple out of it before he's brought down at about the 27-yard line. Rather, call it the 27. As the clock continues to run, 6:26 and counting here in this 4th quarter. St. Augustine will move on to a 7-2 record going into their finale against Lincoln on the road next week. Lincoln will put up certainly much more of a fight than Scripps Ranch. Lincoln, a very good football team. As they set in the I formation, 2 receivers near side. Thomas in motion. Thomas on the sweep. He gets the call, gets around to the left side, has some room, and down to the 40-yard line. He had a lot of success with Brett Thomas tonight on those ends around, but from the body posturing of the players, we may have a penalty on the field. Or not.
Didn't see a flag, but doesn't mean it's not out there. Nope. Yeah, they have had a lot more success pulling plays like that with him on the sweeps or running to the outside than they have running up the middle, and I'm surprised they haven't done more of the sweep plays.
And the safety's well off Thomas as he's in the slot to the near side. They're going to hand this one up the middle again. Stevens is going, can you give me a call outside? I'm tired of running in the middle. But this time Stevens swings around for about 3 yards on the play, down to the 45-yard line. Well, he is going to be a sore young man tomorrow. Shea Stevens, 5'9", 155. Not exactly the kind of stature you're going to have running between the guards.
No, but it's showing some serious toughness out there. One of the few seniors that they have that are making impacts tonight. But got to credit him for being tough.
So 2nd and 5 from their own 45-yard line. 4:43 left to go in this ball game. Fish looking to throw. Oh boy, did he overthrow everybody. He was looking to throw that, get that slant pattern to inside receiver Ross Sanchez, and he threw a deep pass to the corner and overshot everybody. Almost got Grumman here, had an opportunity for that catch.
And I got the hands. Yeah, everybody went with the slant across the middle. Arthur Schaefer, a tight end, was sliding out to the outside out in the flat and was wide open. And he just kind of threw his hands up like, what about me? I'm wide open over here. But I think Fish had already decided where he's going to throw the ball. Again, that's one of those inexperienced things, is not letting the play develop and finding your open guy.
So 3rd and 5 for Scripps Ranch, still at their own 45-yard line. Fish looking to throw again off 3 steps. And again, firing out, and Stevens takes a bit of a lick after the play as that ball fell short of Shea Stevens. And once again, Josh Fish just not comfortable in the passing game yet. And he's been throwing errant passes for most of this night.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts in the passing game, and so, I mean, it's not all on him. Certainly, you know, the quarterback gets all the attention, the credit or the blame, but there's a lot of things going on out there to make a successful passing game, and again, experience is going to be the factor here to help this Falcons team develop.
So 4th and 5, Scripps Ranch going for it, looking for that 5 yards. Going right over the middle is Fish, lofts it up and nearly gets his receiver, and a little bit of contact near the end of the play, but not enough for a flag. And St. Augustine will take over 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line of Scripps Ranch. And actually, that was probably the best ball Fish has thrown all night.
Yeah, it was a nice throw. It had some depth to it, and it was a tight spiral, and just missed his guy down there. I mean, he good, perfect throw. Would have taken a really tough throw because the defender was all over the receiver. But, you know, again, these are the things that they're going to have to look at. There's a lot of tough things tonight that have gone on for the Falcons, but they've got to look deep, and they can find a lot of positives.
Well, Tommy Goodrich now in quarterback for St. Augustine. And we have a new tailback. That is Marty Rascon, another sophomore, 5'10", 180, good-sized kid. How many running backs is a team allowed to have? They're this young and this talented.
Just going to rotate kids in and out, let them get some playing time.
A lot of opportunities.
This is when you do it.
Yep. Good opportunity for everybody. Tommy Goodrich, sophomore quarterback, actually very impressive. He came in for the Eastlake game and led that team to an upset victory over the Titans. So he's not a newbie here. As another running back, another new name, trying to get to the edge, Tristan Juarez. Oh, look, a senior. Getting his opportunity to carry the ball tonight.
Yeah, Juarez has been playing a lot of defense. Haven't called his name much. I've seen him out there, and he's doing a good job. Now he's getting an opportunity to handle the ball. But, you know, the other part of this, too, is you want to get your key guys out of the ball game. You know, a lot of times late in blowouts, that's when injuries happen. So you want to make sure your key guys are protected from any kind of misfortune like that.
Don't be too surprised if we have a quarterback battle next season between Hudson and Goodrich. This is a really good-looking sophomore quarterback who is more the passer than Hudson really is. Hudson being more the runner. Goodrich on the play action. Going to throw it out to the flat. Has a man wide open to the 30, 41, and down to the 30, to the 25. Puts his head down to the 20-yard line. That's Spencer Dixon, 5'11", 185 senior. Getting an opportunity for his first catch of the night.
Boy, nice big play there. Nice little fake and roll out and drop that off.
I like the way Goodrich plays. An outstanding young player. Very impressive in the times he's been able to had to come into for duty for Hudson this year. As he sets a receiver to either side. Single set back against Juarez. Juarez drops the ball, and Scripps Ranch
got it.
They may have jumped on it.
A little sloppy on the exchange there. Goodrich to Juarez, and they just weren't on the same page, and Scripps Ranch gets the ball back.
So 36 seconds left to go in the ball game. Scripps Ranch recovers the fumble at the 21-yard line of the Falcons. And with this one no longer in doubt, 49-14. St. Augustine looking to go 7-2 on the season. An outstanding position in Division 4 for a first-round bye. Scripps Ranch more than likely will miss the playoffs for the first time since 2004. As they go 1st and 10, and that's still Josh Fisher, quarterback. He's going to throw it again down the right side. Not a bad pass as it goes incomplete, but well covered on the play by Tristan Juarez.
Yeah, Juarez was in really good position on that and beat the receiver downfield and had a better chance at making that catch than did the Scripps Ranch receiver.
And that play will do it here from Mesa College. The number 9 team in the land, St. Augustine Saints, come back with a huge third quarter and defeat a scrappy Scripps Ranch Falcons team 49-14. Folks, we invite you to stay tuned to PlayOnSports.com for our post-game coverage. We'll wrap up all the action in our post-game show and try and have an interview with our player of the game. That's coming up in just a few moments. Once again, St. Augustine goes to 7-2 on the season with a 49-14 victory over Scripps Ranch. On Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
And welcome back to San Diego, California, and the PlayOnSports.com post-game show. I'm TC Wardell alongside Mark Grumman, and we just saw the number 9 ranked St. Augustine Saints kind of slip by, and if you want to call a 49-14 victory, slipping by a scrappy, no-nonsense, tough-nosed Scripps Ranch football team tonight in a game that the score really doesn't indicate how the actual game went progressed. As Scripps Ranch trailed by only 6 points at the beginning of the second half of play, but then the St. Augustine team exploded in the third quarter for 3 touchdowns and another one in the fourth, and really opened it up to a 49-14 finale. But you know, a lot to be said for the Scripps Ranch football team. We'll get to St. Augustine in just a second. But they're 0-9 on the season. You know, they're likely possible 0-10 after next week's game against the arch rival Mesa. But a team that has been fighting injuries, fighting youth and inexperience on both sides of the ball all season long. I mean, they put up just a tremendous effort today, and I think St. Augustine is really surprised by what they had to face tonight.
Well, yeah, and you know, I think we ended up with the result we expected when, you know, in our pregame talking, and we expected St. Augustine to win fairly big, but it just took them a lot longer than we thought. I mean, like I said, it was a 6-point game in the third quarter. Scripps Ranch came out and played hard. I mean, they got the first score of the game with a nice little play there that kind of caught St. Augustine napping, I think, a little bit early. Came out opened the second half with that kind of little pooch kick that got them the ball back, and they went and scored right away. So they did a lot of good things. But, you know, we talked a lot about they're decimated by injury. They just got, 30-some, just a little over 30 guys on their roster, and guys going both ways. And you get tired. I mean, there's just no way around it. I don't care how young and, you know, how much energy these young guys have. You're still going to get tired when you play a football game as much as they had to play, compared to St. Augustine, who's got a big roster, and they have a couple of guys that have to go both sides of the ball. So it took its toll.
That's all right. Mark with a coughing fit. And again, once again, a good foundation to build on. I know it stings for a team like Scripps Ranch, as young as they are, and then having the 0-9 season this year, and coming off every game with a loss. It's not easy. It's not a lot of fun, but the dividends will pay off in the coming years. Easy to say for me, and I'm standing up here. I'm not having to go through it. But you'll see in years to come, this Scripps Ranch football team is going to be a force in the Eastern League.
And they will. And Coach Meyer, you know, I don't envy his position. He's just in the sense that he's got to go talk to these kids that, you know, they're young and impressionable, and it's hard to lose week after week after week. And for a coach to go in there and try to keep them encouraged, keep them coming back out, ready to play, you know, come out to practice again another week, with the prospect of, you know, hopefully we'll be just in the ball game. And there's a lot of psychology involved in coaching, more so than just, you know, teaching X's and O's. You got to keep these kids' psyches up, and I'm sure Coach Meyer is going to do a great job of doing that. And I think we saw a lot of that tonight, because even as the game started getting away from them, they still continued to play hard, and they didn't quit. And so that's something that the coaching staff of Scripps Ranch needs to be proud of.
Keep an eye on Scripps Ranch in the years to come. Very young program, up and coming. On the flip side, St. Augustine, they go to 7-2 on the season. I think they got punched in the mouth a little early tonight. I think they had to wake up a little bit after in their kind of coma that they allowed themselves to get induced to, but they really came on strong in the second half and just really took over. This is an outstanding program. I really thought this was going to be a rebuilding year a bit for St. Augustine. Evidently, I was wrong. As they in the Division 4, there's certainly probably the team to beat, along with Valley Center and Imperial and Brawley. So another great season, and they got a young team. Holy cow! They've got 2 young freshman running backs that just have gone crazy. Dynamite players. A young sophomore quarterback in Tommy Goodrich, who I think has got a chance to start next year. And you know, a reason why I thought it would be a young team kind of rebuilding, evidently wrong. They're just reloading. This is an outstanding program.
Well, when they're young is one thing, but the talent that these kids, I just can't get over the running game that they're going to have for the next, 3 more years. 2 freshmen that just showed incredible talent and headiness on the field. I mean, it's one thing to have the talent, but to have the field sense on how to run and how to look downfield and how to keep moving forward. I mean, they showed some serious skill and some serious just head for the game.
Well, they move on to take on Lincoln on the road next week in the season finale, as they hope to get a first-round bye in the Division 4 playoffs with a victory there and hopefully go 8-2. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up from Mesa College, where the St. Augustine Saints have defeated the Scripps Ranch Falcons 49-14. We'd like to thank you for joining PlayOnSports.com's coverage of Friday Night Football from San Diego, California. And be sure to check PlayOnSports.com for information and links to all of our upcoming broadcasts. For our producer, Jarrett Wright, our videographer, Daryl Mazon, and my sidekick, Mark Grumman, I'm TC Wardell saying so long, and we hope you'll join us next week on your destination for high school sports and Friday Night Football, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.